We only have to do this 2 more times this year, and that is sit down and watch the 2024 Cleveland Browns. Welcome into our Browns-Dolphins Week 17 watch party. Matthew Peterson from the Browns Report by Chat Sports here with you guys. Trying to gain the courage to keep my eyes open for Dorian Thompson-Robinson versus Tyler Huntley. That's right. Tua Tagovailoa is inactive today with a hip injury for the Dolphins. Miami has something to play for. They have a very small playoff path, but it is there, and they cannot play Tua for some hip injury, and we do not get to see Tua. Instead, it's Tyler Huntley returning to the Browns, which is one of those weird instances where if I told you back in August Tyler Huntley is going to start a game in Cleveland in December, you probably think, oh crap, what went wrong? A lot went wrong, but it wasn't what you thought it was. It's Tyler Huntley going to the Dolphins and then playing for Miami against the Browns. Now, before we get any further in today's show, James Harper, ladies and gentlemen, with a $50 super chat before kickoff. This, to me, is like Jerome Ford opening kickoff house call. Not good field position, not across the 50. Oh, no, we're talking Josh Cribbs style. Opening kickoff return for 6. James Harper. Hope everyone's had a great Christmas. Petey, do you happen to know when my jersey will arrive? Let's go Browns. James, I did some digging. The jersey was ordered December 17th. There was a little bit of a delay in when I submitted the order information versus when it got ordered, and it's going to be shipped to the Chat Sports office. The reason why we do that is that way we can verify it's the right size and the right player, because in the past, when we've sent it right to the winner's house, sometimes people say, oh, it's not the right size, and we got to order another one. So this way, we can verify everything is correct. So as soon as we get the jersey, James, I'll let you know and then put it in the mail to your address. And at that point, it's going to take just a matter of days. So, James, hopefully you have it in the next couple of weeks. But there are plenty of people watching right now that have won stuff from us here before, and they can vouch that everything's going to come. Sometimes there's just a little bit of a delay, especially when ordering around the holidays. We know how busy all those carriers can be. But James Harper, everyone show the guy some love. Getting the party started when, to be honest, I didn't really expect much of a party. It's Week 17. The Browns have 3 wins, and they're playing in a cold, rainy home game against Tyler Huntley and the Dolphins, but we're going to peel our eyes open and watch this game. I do have to give a quick shout-out to our friends over at Prize Picks. If you are looking for some extra motivation to find a reason to watch some of these Browns games, I invite everyone watching to check out Prize Picks. The way Prize Picks works is you select more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks now offers Venmo and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this season. So here's an example of my selections over on Prize Picks. Big game going on in the afternoon today between the Packers and the Vikings. So I took the less on Josh Jacobs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Shout out your city for me in the chat. We have 60 brave individuals gearing up to watch this game together. So let me know where you're tuning in from, because every single one of you deserves a Purple Heart at the very least, because this is going to suck. I mean, on one hand, we might look at it as like, hey, it could get weird. It could get fun. The over-under is at 32.5. I don't think it's going to get weird. I don't think it's going to get fun. I think it's going to get ugly. But I'm here for it, because it's moments like this where in May or June we say, man, what I would kill to watch a football game. And I'm going to remember this moment, because when that day in May and June comes, and it's a Monday night, and you're wishing there was football, just remember, you bypassed the Browns-Dolphins game because you thought it was no good. Well, not you and me, though. We're here right now. AFX, what are you doing? I'm at the game right now, Breadstick. Is Breadstick's my nickname? Or It's not a bad nickname. Like, I enjoy breadsticks. I'm actually upset when I go to like a Italian or like pizza place and they don't have like a breadsticks or garlic bread or like a cheesy bread appetizer. That's always a little bit of a downer. So, love a good app. I'll take the breadsticks nickname.
Anytime they say bread for the table?
Oh, absolutely.
Always.
What a dumb question.
That's like chips and salsa? Of course.
I've never heard anyone. If I'm dining with someone and they say no to bread on the table, I might get up. Which, by the way, I've kind of like started to do that. I was at an airport restaurant, and it was like a Mexican restaurant. Food was very expensive. Quesadilla, beef quesadilla. Do you want to guess how much it cost? At DFW.
18.
$24.
Holy cow.
I know. And I was running a little behind, and I was like, I probably shouldn't be doing a sit-down restaurant right now, but I do love dining at the airport. I'm not spending $24 on a quesadilla. So before the waiter got to me, I just got up and left. I was like, all right, deuces. AFX, let me know how the game is and obviously what you're getting to eat, if it's breadsticks or not. Papa T with a $20 super chat. Happy Sunday. Hang in there. James, Matthew, and crew are legit. Come on, high draft pick. Let's go. Who's James? James, my boss? That's the only James I can think of here right now. Am I forgetting another James? Papa T, fill me in because I feel like I'm flying blind right now. But yeah, come on, high draft pick. We'll kind of peek at Tankathon once the 1 p.m. games end. But the Jags and Titans are playing each other. They are both picking 1 spot or 2 spots ahead of Cleveland. One of them is going to win. So the Browns are going to go from 5 to 4 at an absolute minimum, which would be super cool because if the top 2 picks are like quarterbacks, I don't know. Travis Hunter could be worth exploring. Don't you agree? Oh, James Harper. Well, you put James and Matthew. I was kind of thinking like Reed and Matthew, like part of the show. That was dumb of me. I'm sorry, Papa T. But you're right. We got the best dog pound right here in the world. Thank you so much, Papa T. Really, really appreciate you as always. James Harper, back at it again. He's talking about me, Petey. I was curious, one, because I'm moving in a few days, so I will email you my new address. James, that's no problem at all. Just, like you said, email me your new address, and as soon as the jersey arrives here, I'll mail it to the new address. So, good communication. I'm glad we got that one sorted out. And enjoy the new place. Moving sucks. I just did it. There's nothing worse. The best feeling is after moving because there's nothing worse than moving. The worst feeling is actually the days leading up to the move when you put off packing. That is torture right there. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, James. Go Brownies. We got Braden Klosterman. With Colorado losing this weekend, do you think Shedeur is still QB1 off the board? Also, let's go Browns. I'm going to get a little bit louder as the offseason approaches about this opinion. I don't think Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward are going to amount to be franchise quarterbacks in the NFL. I'll say it out loud. No one wants to hear it, but every year we do this as a football society where we build up quarterbacks in the draft because they are the ultimate lighthouse of hope. And inevitably, you get a lot of busts. Like Kenny Pickett. And I'm just watching him get injured right now against the Eagles, so he pops in my head. But I think Cam Ward and Shedeur are going to be disappointing top 5 draft picks. I don't think they have top 5 draft talent. I think they're going to go top 5 because they are the only good quarterbacks in this class, and the Giants and the Raiders are so quarterback desperate, and the Titans too, that they will force a pick that we will look back at and go, what a dumb selection that was. So do I still think Shedeur is still QB1? Probably. Is he my QB1? No. I just think this is one of those bad quarterback draft classes where we're going to try and twist ourselves into thinking they're better than they really are. I don't see it. There's some good things about these quarterbacks, and I don't think they're going to be complete like failures like Jamarcus Russell level. But no, I don't think these quarterbacks, the way I kind of look at it as, do I think they're going to get second contracts from the team that drafted them? Probably not. Sometimes, like Daniel Jones situations happen where they somewhat fall into it at the very end, but no. Braden, appreciate your super chat.
I fear this is a Bryce Young type thing. Where like, oh yeah, he's really
No.
good, and then he gets to the NFL, and it's like, wait, maybe he's not good.
I don't think it's Bryce Young. And here's why. Bryce Young won the Heisman. Have we ever seen a quarterback go number 1 overall? Let's say Cam Ward goes number 1 or Shedeur goes number 1. Someone fact check this, and this requires some research. Has a quarterback ever gone number 1 overall in the draft and wasn't even a Heisman finalist? Like, just think about it for a second. Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence. I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence is a Heisman finalist. Baker Mayfield won the Heisman. Jameis, Mariota, Cam Newton. These guys aren't even close to that. But they're the best of the bunch. So we're going to pretend like they're just as good as another quarterback that goes first overall. Did Trevor Lawrence get invited to the Heisman? He must have been invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
And we got Jalen Hurts too.
And Jalen Hurts. Well, he's a second-round pick.
Well, he was a finalist though.
Yeah.
He went in the second round, and
right.
I kind of feel like they're
like,
round quarterbacks right now.
Right. My whole point is these are going to be the first quarterbacks to go top 3 in the draft that weren't even Heisman finalists. Shedeur wasn't there, and Cam Ward. Cam Ward was not a Heisman finalist, correct? Or am I just forgetting Cam Ward? Cam Ward was a Heisman finalist? I thought he wasn't.
No, Shedeur wasn't.
Okay.
It was
Dylan Travis,
Gabriel,
Genty, and Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that point doesn't work for Cam Ward, but it definitely works for Shedeur. And he might be QB1. So I got to retract some of the parts about Cam Ward.
That I saw with the Iowa State game and Miami bowl game.
Yeah.
Dude was standing in the pocket. He had time and time on his hands, and he just stood there. I don't think you're going to get that in the NFL. So
there is a lot of pros for these quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not at the level of their top 5 draft picks. They could be late first, early second round picks, and I would never beef with that. I don't think they are worthy of a top 5 draft pick. I think there are better football players, but just not as important position as quarterback that are going to get picked after them. Papa T, the gentleman waiting on his jersey. James, the gentleman. I like that nickname. James the Giant Peach, James the gentleman, James Harper. Colts, touchdown. So we're watching the end of the Colts-Giants game right now, and Indianapolis trailing 28-20 just threw a touchdown pass to Alec Pierce, and they are 2 points away from tying the game in the fourth quarter. Papa T, thank you for your super chat. Oh, we got another Papa T super. Sanders or Manning's family won't allow them to play in Cleveland. Fact. 110% agree. The Manning one, sorry, I forgot you lumped in Manning. 100% agree on the Sanders part. The Manning one, the only slight path I might see to that changing is Peyton could have a very good relationship, and I'm just speculating here, with Jimmy Haslam because of their Tennessee ties. And maybe that does open the door for Archie Manning to go to the Browns, which would not be 2025. We're talking 2026. Archie Manning is not draft eligible. That could open the door for that possibility because of the Tennessee connection between the two. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But that is worth noting at least. But yeah, I agree. Deion's not going to let Shedeur come to Cleveland, so just move on. I would love for the Browns to get the first overall draft pick, to trade it away to a team that overpays, and you get a Bryce Young type haul because someone thinks Shedeur is worth that. That's the dream scenario. If they pick one, they have to trade that pick to a quarterback needy team. Please.
Let me ask you this, Petey.
Yeah.
If you're in charge of the Raiders, what are you doing if you get, like, depending on what pick you get? So, like, say you get pick number 2. What are you doing?
I think you're just going to sit there and pick the quarterback that's available because no way the team picking one unless it's a non-quarterback needed team like the Browns.
You don't think you dip into free agency and get somebody like
No, you never find anything in free agency. They just tried that with Gardner Minshew. All right, 2-point conversion. This is big. If the Giants win, it could improve the Browns' draft stock. 2-point conversion attempt. Oh, my gosh. That's a live ball.
It was there.
Oh, what a cool play design.
It was there.
Imagine a wide receiver screen, but when the receiver catches it, he pitches it back to a player running a reverse the other way. And in this situation, the reverse was just dropped by Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, that was a touchdown.
That was 2 points for sure, I think. Yep. So I don't know what happens if the Giants win, they still pick before the Browns, even if they both have 3 wins. Let me look at Tankathon. It will come down to strength of schedule. Oh, no. All right, we are rooting for the Giants. If the Giants, ladies and gentlemen, if the Giants win this game, the Browns are going to move to at least third in the draft because the Jags and Titans are playing each other. Someone's going to win that game and improve to 4 wins. So they'll fall below Cleveland. And if the Giants win, they will pick after the Browns because of strength of schedule tiebreaker. So it would go Patriots picking 1, Jags, Titans, loser picking 2, and Browns picking 3. We could be looking at having the first pick of someone that's not a quarterback. If it goes Shedeur 1, Cam Ward 2, and then the draft really starts with Cleveland of who's the best player in this draft. Because it's not Shedeur and it's not Cam. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, from a pure football standpoint, those are not the 2 best all-around football players. I think it could be Travis Hunter, might be Abdul Carter, could be Calvin Banks, tackle out of Texas. Papa T, hope Peyton loves his nephew more than he likes Haslam. You're saying it's in Peyton's best interest to shoo Archie away from Cleveland? I know what happened with Eli, and that creates the possibility of it happening with Archie. A lot can change between now and then. And maybe the Mannings look at the Browns as a stable organization that just wasn't stable before, but now it's on the right path. And there's not a whole lot that can back that up following this season, but they've had 2 playoff appearances in 3 years, 4 years. So that could change the tide a little bit. Okay, we are a little over 30 minutes away from kickoff. So who you got? Browns or Dolphins? 124 people tuned in at the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching with us, hanging out with us for our pregame tailgate. So who you got? Browns or Dolphins? If Tua was playing, I'd pick the Dolphins. I'm struggling. By the way, Anthony Walker, also inactive, which is a bummer. Would have been fun to see him come back to Cleveland. But I don't know. This is going to suck. I kind of want to take the Dolphins because I just haven't seen the way the Browns can win a football game. But Tyler Huntley on the road. I mean, he's had some good moments with the Ravens. I'll stick with Miami. No one. The worst part is if you pick against your team, everyone hates you. But if you're right, no one cares that you were right about picking against them. They're like, you're still a traitor. Benedict Arnold all of a sudden. I'll stick with the Dolphins. Yeah. Black Dog is taking Miami. Kathy is taking the Browns. Ty Man is taking the Browns. Let me know in the comment section who you got, Browns or Dolphins. We're watching a couple of games right now. The Giants, are the red zone scores updated or no? We can kind of peek at that. So much for 7 hours of commercial-free football, Red Zone. Got a Wingstop ad coming up. Oh, boy. Here are the scores. Bills routing the Jets, 33-0. I think if Buffalo wins that game, by the way, they clinch the 2 seed. Yes, they do. And when they clinch the 2 seed, they have nothing to play for. Yeah. The Eagles. But when the Bills beat the Jets and clinch the 2 seed, they will rest their starters, I assume, next week in Week 18 against the Patriots, who also have 3 wins. So I wouldn't be shocked if Drake May beats Mitch Trubisky in the Week 18, and that improves if Drake May's even healthy, you're right, could be Jacoby Brissett. And that could improve the Browns draft pick with a Patriots victory. This is the game to watch right now, and I've got that on the TV as we get closer to our game. Giants with the football, leading by 2, 9.5 to play as Drew Lock's pass is caught for a first down on 3rd down. Saints are trailing at home to the Raiders. I picked the Raiders in that game. I think I did, yeah. 19-10. Raiders fans are in meltdown mode. That's 2 wins in a tanking effort by the fan base. The Buccaneers are keeping their playoff hopes alive. They need the Falcons to lose one of their last 2 games. If the Buccaneers win out, there is a chance of getting the wild card spot, though. Jags against the Titans. Remember, this is a big game for the Browns as well. Whoever wins improves to 4 wins on the year, and they will fall behind Cleveland in the draft order if the Browns, of course, lose to the Dolphins. And we've got the Packers-Vikings. This is the game to watch right here. Whoever wins that game, if it's Minnesota, Malik Neighbors touchdown. Giants touchdown. Touchdown Malik Neighbors, his second of the game. And New York might just end the Colts' playoff hopes with a win. Anywho, we got Sunday Night Football, Falcons, Commanders as well. And then Monday night is Lions, 49ers. It's now 34-26, 8-point game. And if the extra point is good, it'll be a 2-score game for New York with 8:39 remaining. Doug Wick with a $10 super. Salute to you, Doug. Go Browns. Won't be able to watch on here tonight, but good luck on everyone's parlays. Thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate you still tuning in before the game, and look forward to hopefully seeing you for the season finale next Sunday against the Ravens. Big extra point coming up for the Giants, and the extra point is up and good. So 2-score lead for the Giants. That's good for Cleveland with the loss, which I'm not rooting for because it's so easy to say, oh, earlier draft pick, more success. How many times do we see the Browns, the Jets, the Jags pick top 5 and not get any better? You got to start winning at some point. But if it happens naturally, because the Giants win and you were going to lose anyway, I'm not going to be upset about it. But I'm not going to have a hissy fit over the Browns winning a game today. It always sounds great in December to tank, but how many times have we seen the Browns just miss on draft picks, the Jets, all these teams picking top 5, top 10 year after year, and nothing improves? But we think it will because you have an earlier draft pick. You got to start winning. You can't flip a switch, go, well, now that we got the draft pick we wanted, let's learn how to win football games. It doesn't work that way.
I think the biggest thing is produce good football, and that's it. And then see what happens when the draft comes around. Because it's like you said, it's so hard to plan it out right now.
Right.
Just play football.
I agree.
Like, that's it.
100% agree. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to reach 40,000 subscribers, the big 4-0, a big milestone in the YouTube world. So if you enjoy the free content, which it's 100% free, 365 days of the year, then I invite you to subscribe and follow along as we give you guys the best Browns news and rumors content during a very big offseason looming for the Browns as they return to the first round of the NFL draft for the first time since 2021 when they selected Greg Newsome. Super Chat menu, by the way, if you enjoy the free content we provide and you do want to support the channel, Super Chats do go a long way, as you've seen a handful of people Super Chat already. So $5 Super Chat, and everyone that's already Super Chatted is entered into this, by the way. We've got an autographed Jerry Jeudy football. We're going to raffle off with a 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. So, Colts, big play. Joe Flacco. Throw of like 60 yards, and the Colts are right back in the red zone. Flacco is undefeated. So, anywho, $5 Super Chat will enter you into that raffle. $10 Super Chat. You guys might enjoy this. If not, no problem. But I thought you might enjoy a predictions letter. So, I'll write for the new year letters to anyone that sends in a $10 Super Chat. My email's going to be at the bottom of the screen in just a moment. If you've already sent in a $10 Super Chat or larger, just email me your address. Please email me because I will forget in a few days when I go to write this letter for the new year. And I'll just put down some predictions for the 2025 Cleveland Browns. If you want a letter and you're unable to afford a $10 Super Chat, not a problem. Just email me your address and I'll shoot you a note regardless. And then I thought since the year is winding down, why not make the Brown and Orange Club a little bit of a discount deal? So if you want to get shout-outs for the rest of the season, the rest of the year, the Brown and Orange Club will live on. We'll add you to it with a $20 Super Chat. Always appreciate those of you that are able to contribute and donate to the channel to help us grow. So that is our Super Chat menu for today. And if you send in a $100 Super Chat, Miami Mac changed his profile picture. We'll have to get the new one. If you send in a $100 Super Chat, I thought you might enjoy this. Sponsor a show over the next couple of days or weeks. Today's show, thanks to our friend Papa T. Thanks to James Harper. Thanks to Jeremy Stallman. So trying something different out, trying something out new. But if you really love the channel, this is a great way to kind of get yourself on screen even more. All right, that is our Super Chat menu for today. we are going to watch the end of this Colts-Giants game for sure because it has big implications for Cleveland's draft pick. We have 158 people tuned in right now, 45 likes. Every 100 likes and every 100 subscribers, we pick someone out of the chat for a free raffle entry for that Jerry Jeudy autographed football. So if you can't super chat, no problem. Just like the video and subscribe. That's completely free, and we'll pick someone out of the chat every 100 milestone we cross for a free raffle entry. Eagles, by the way, beating the crap out of the Cowboys. It's 34-7. Saquon Barkley going for the rushing record. He is now a part of the 2K rushing club. Trivia, can you name every running back who has reached 2,000 yards in a season? One of them is the guy who has the rushing record.
Saquon Barkley and Eric Dickerson.
Yep, those are two.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep. He is the last to do it before Saquon. No, sorry. There's one in between.
Derrick Henry.
Yep, who's done it twice, by the way. There's someone who has a nickname based around this.
Oh, Chris Johnson.
Bingo, CJ2K.
CJ2K. Is there how many?
And I think there's two more.
Is it Jamal?
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Charles?
No.
I was saying Jamal Charles.
No, Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. Okay.
Yeah, Browns legend. And there's one more from the Jamal Lewis era. I want to get his stats up.
Is it LT?
No, a little earlier. You ready? It is Broncos running back Terrell Davis. I'm 90% sure that's the entire 2K rushing club. Maybe I missed someone, but I think that's the entire club. Phil, thank you for playing along. No one else wanted to play my trivia with me. 175 people tuned in. Thank you guys for watching with us right now as we check out some of the games going on at the 1 p.m. slate. Colts back in the red zone. 3rd and 7. Let's watch this third down play, and then we'll tell everyone about our friends at Prize Picks. 6 minutes and 40 seconds for Flacco on 3rd down. End zone. Caught, touchdown. Oh my God. Indianapolis in 2 minutes responds with a touchdown of their own, and it's right back to being a one-score game. Before we watch a potential 2-point conversion, quick shout-out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks now offers Venmo and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this season. So I invite everyone watching right now to download the Prize Picks app and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Oh, I think I left O.J. Simpson off. I think O.J. might have done it, and I don't know if Barry did it. I think I left O.J. off. O.J. did get to 2,000 yards in 1973. Did Barry get to 2,000 yards? Yes, he did. The list is bigger than I thought. Barry Sanders in 97 got to 2,000 yards. And I think that's the Marshall Faulk. Man, I'm really bad at this. Marshall Faulk reached 2,000 yards rushing? No, he never did. Okay, so now I feel a little bit less bad. I knew the OJ one too. I think that question was asked to me before Derrick Henry got that number, and I forgot to add more people. The number increases. So I've always thought it was just 6 guys, but now it's like up to 8 or 9. Extra point, by the way, for the Colts was good, so they are trailing 35-33 with 6.5 to go. Drew Lock and the Giants offense back on the field. Let's peek into this one as Lock dials up play action, and he is going to throw it away with his left hand. 2nd and 10. Colts just need a field goal, and they keep their playoff hopes alive. Can we look at the playoff picture really quickly, Reed, for both the NFC and the AFC? So let's peek at the playoff picture for the AFC and the NFC and talk about what the implications are today across the NFL. As Drew Lock, 2nd and 10, pass incomplete, but a flag is thrown, and they're going to get PI. So here's the AFC playoff picture, and here's what's kind of up for grabs. With a win for the Bills, which we can kind of lock that in right now, Reed, if you want to, they clinch the number 2 seed. So they would improve to 13-3. They would have nothing to play for next week when they play the Patriots. So maybe a New England win against a Bills backup squad could improve the Browns draft pick. That's something to watch for. Then you've got the Ravens and Steelers, who both have something to play for when they return in Week 18. A Steelers win and a Ravens loss, I'm 90% sure, flip-flops those two teams, and the Steelers would then host a playoff game. Ravens playing the Browns, Steelers hosting the Bengals. Texans are locked in basically to the 4 seed. They have nothing to play for next week. They can't go up, they can't go down, so they are likely going to rest some of their starters. Then you've got the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos. And Denver, with the loss, they are now 9-7 after losing to the Bengals on Saturday, cannot improve their seeding with a win in Week 18. They lost the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Steelers and the Chargers. The Chargers could improve their seeding with a win and a Steelers loss in Week 18. So that's the AFC. By the way, the Dolphins, their only path to the playoffs is if they and the Broncos finish 9-8, and only those two teams finish 9-8, they would have the tiebreaker because of AFC record, and they would go to the postseason. So Miami is definitely playing for something today. As for, they cannot get eliminated either, I don't believe, even with a Colts victory. Meanwhile, here's how the NFC looks. Okay, Rams, after winning last night, improved to 10-6, so we'll update that on the fly here. But the Lions are still fighting for the 1 seed. It's actually a pretty wild scenario that could unfold in Week 18. If the Vikings beat the Packers in 30 minutes when that game kicks off, Week 18 between Minnesota and Detroit is for the NFC North and for the 1 seed. That is what's on the line only if the Vikings beat Green Bay in 30 or so minutes. The Eagles, by the way, are cruising their way to the 2 seed with a win today. They will have nothing to play for, I believe, in Week 18. I don't think they have a shot mathematically anymore at the 1 seed, even if they win today. Although, no, that's not true. If they win out and the Lions and Vikings both lose out, and yeah, that's the path for the Eagles. So retract that. The Rams, after beating the Cardinals, they are in a really good spot to win the NFC West, win in Week 18, and they are in. The other one to watch for is the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Tampa is just a few minutes away from beating the Panthers. They will improve to 9-7 and temporarily leapfrog Atlanta for the 4 seed. However, the Falcons have the head-to-head season sweep. So if Atlanta and Tampa finish with the same record, then it's the Falcons hosting a playoff game. If the Bucs and the Commanders both finish 10-7, then it's Tampa Bay hosting a playoff game. By the way, the Giants just picked up a big gain on 3rd and 8. They are in the red zone, leading 35-33 with 4.5 to go. 1st and goal coming up for New York. So that is what's up for grabs in the rest of the Week 17 slate and leading into Week 18. Predict the score for me, though. Browns versus Dolphins. Let me know what your score predictions are. We've seen a couple of upsets like in the making today. I mean, this one right now, New York over the Colts. Maybe the upsets kind of end, though. Chaos runs out. I'm going to say Miami wins 17-10. It's going to be ugly. I'm not even sure if the Browns can score a touchdown. I feel bad for Jerry Jeudy fantasy owners. DTR sunk them in the postseason.
You ready for mine?
Yeah.
7-6, Browns.
I can't push back on it. Breakthrough psychotherapy. This is my last season with Cleveland. It's been a long 46 years. I hear that every year. And they come crawling back the next year. You can't just abandon a team. You can't abandon a team of 46 years. You might say it, but when week 1 kicks off and they're winning 7-0, you're just going to have a big smile on your face and you go, yeah, I forget what I said earlier. Drew Lock today, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and you might have number 5. Nope. 3rd and goal coming up. A field goal, and the Colts still have life. It would move from a 2-point game to a 5-point game with probably about 2 and change remaining, all 3 timeouts for Indianapolis. The Colts' playoff hopes hang on the balance of this next play. If Indianapolis makes a stop right here, they have a chance. If it's a touchdown, their postseason hopes are over. Comes down to this play for the Colts. 3rd and goal from the 5. This is it. Comes down to this play. If the Giants win, it's good for the Browns' draft position if Cleveland loses today to Miami. Drew Lock, 3rd and goal from the 5. Win and help the Browns. Play action. Lock stepping up, running with it. Lock is going to tuck it and run. He's in! Touchdown! Cleveland just got that close, much closer to the 1st overall pick. Drew Lock might have given the Browns the 1st overall pick in the draft with that touchdown. Oh my goodness. Giants take a 41-33 lead, 8-point advantage. An extra point would make it a 9-point game with 3 minutes remaining and all 3 timeouts. Drew Lock might be a Cleveland legend. Here's the very important extra point, and it's good. 2-score game with 3 minutes to go. Indy's defense could not stop Drew Lock. His 5th total touchdown of the game. Watch the linebackers here. Like, Drew Lock is going to roll out of the pocket, and no one thinks to... There's 2 white jerseys, and no one thinks to step up and stop him. Like, EJ Speed has to take care of Singletary, but Cross, go, dude. Stop the ball. All right, yeah, so we're having a Super Chat battle with our Dolphins channel here at Chat Sports. And they've got a decent lead on us right now. About twice what we have. So if you are looking for any kind of victory today, help us take down Dolphins today in Super Chats. Every bit counts. I love chipping away at that. Giants helping the Browns out, baby. Go Big Blue. New York. Enjoy picking 5th overall. Will Campbell. Get ready to learn Giants football. Oh, they're all deflated too. No one's cheering for this. It's such a weird thing as a fan to be there. The whole roster's excited, and you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We were supposed to lose this game. Quick plug, by the way, for our college football playoff watch parties. We're going to have watch parties for all 4 quarterfinal games. So if you are looking to watch them in a similar setting like this one, subscribe to Chat Sports here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on watching maybe your Buckeyes play the Ducks, Texas, Arizona State, UGA, Notre Dame, Penn State, Boise State. All those watch parties. Oh my gosh, Joe Flacco just threw an interception on the first play. And the Colts are going to lose this game. Giants football with 2:46. Wow. Ryan, you're right. I did not think the Browns would be picking top 5. I kind of had them penciled in like 6 to 7. partially because I didn't think the Giants and Raiders would win another game. And right now, both teams are about to win a total of 3 games in the last 2 weeks. So, hand up, Ryan. Got that one wrong for sure. Just didn't think the Giants and Raiders would go 2-1 combined over this 2-game stretch. Raiders, by the way, they're going to beat the Saints. This is more surprising than the Browns losing. I just thought those teams would continue losing. Yeah. Raiders fans and Giants fans are down bad right now. This is tough for Giants fans out there. We are a little over 5 minutes away from kickoff in Cleveland between the Browns and the Dolphins. 254 people strapped in right now. 70 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate when owners do write back to fans who send in frustrated notes and letters. Of course, they never really say what you want them to say, which is, sure, I'll let you be the GM, Joe from New Jersey. But for Browns fans, this is tough to watch here. This product we're about to see on the field, it's just going to be a disastrous game, I feel like. But if you're ready, hit that thumbs up button. Ryan, appreciate it. I think one of my pet peeves when I listen and watch other sports commentators, whatever you want to call it, is when they don't own up to being wrong on something that's not a bad opinion to be wrong on. You just weren't right on it. So if you're going to go back and give yourself victory laps, you also got to go back and look and see where you went wrong. And there's plenty where I went wrong this year. There's no doubt about that. Josiah, we would not trade the first pick. You may not be wrong, but I hope they do. And that's what we're about to enter, which is what the Browns are going to do and what you want them to do. Because most times we just default to, well, an NFL GM is smarter than a guy who's listening to sports talk radio. Except they weren't smarter when they selected all of those failed first-round draft picks for all those years in a row and all those failed head coaches. I think the Browns should trade the first overall draft pick. I don't think Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders is the savior. I know you just want to get a different quarterback in. You're desperate to turn the page on the Deshaun Watson era, and having the first overall draft pick allows you to do that, but I don't think you should double down on a mistake. I don't think you should make, 2 wrongs make a right. Where I know that the Watson trade didn't work out, but let's take a quarterback who really shouldn't be picked to first overall. I don't think it's going to work out. And hey, this might be something that ages horribly in a few years, but I just don't like it for the Browns. So, if I were the GM, I'd trade that first overall pick. For one, you don't have enough young talent on this team. You've had to construct this roster in free agency because you gave up all those draft picks for Watson. And that's an okay strategy if you're good at hitting in day 3 picks and you win with those veterans. You haven't hit on day 3 picks very much, and you're not winning with the veterans, so you have very little homegrown talent. You need to get some more seeding. You need to get some more first-round draft capital to make up for 3 years of no first-round picks. I would like for them to trade it. Dolphins path to victory, win final 2 games. Broncos lose next week. We are just a moment away from kickoff here. Quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks now offers Venmo and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account for the rest of the season. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. I am waiting for the Tankathon update to come in right now. The Browns have moved to pick number 4. With the Jags win over the Titans, the draft currently goes as follows. Giants picking 1. That's going to change in a few minutes when they secure the win over the Colts, also knocking Indy out of the playoffs. Patriots pick 2. Titans pick 3. Browns pick 4. Cleveland right now is the 4th overall pick, but in my estimation, when the Giants win, they will move to 3. And it will go New England 1, Tennessee 2, Browns 3. I'm going to take it one step further, though. The Browns are going to play a Ravens team next week who will play their starters. That is not true for the Patriots and the Titans. The Patriots are going to play a Bills team with nothing to play for. So Josh Allen will likely sit. As for the Tennessee Titans, they will play a Texans team with nothing to play for. So there's a good chance that C.J. Stroud sits that game. So the 2 teams picking ahead of Cleveland will be playing the opposing team's backups. And if they win and the Browns lose, Cleveland all of a sudden has the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. There it is. You can root for it. You can root against it. But that's the path right there. I did not think, hand up, this had a chance 3-4 weeks ago. I thought the Browns would be picking 6, like 5, 6, or 7, somewhere in that range. Because I just didn't think the Raiders and Giants would start winning games in week 16, 17, and 18. But the Raiders have won 2 in a row. The Giants are about to win 1. And luckily, you had the Titans playing the Jags, so someone has to win that game, so someone has to fall behind Cleveland. And you've got teams with nothing to play for ahead of the Browns playing those teams. Ooh. Bright Wolf, I know the Bucks blew out the Panthers. Which maybe that's good, just because then that makes week 18 a little bit easier. The question then kind of becomes, what do you do with the first overall pick? I want to go on record right now and say if the Browns have the first overall pick, they should trade it. They should trade it. They should get a lump sum from the Raiders or the Giants, 2 quarterback-needy teams, and build out the rest of the roster and attack the quarterback position in 2026. That, to me, seems like the best path moving forward. Get a couple of future first, some extra day 2 picks for this year, and build up the offensive line. Go get an edge rusher opposite of Myles Garrett, because it ain't Okoronkwo and Zadarius Smith is gone. So go get Abdul Carter. Go build up the secondary, right? Denzel Ward continues to battle concussions. Greg Newsome probably not coming back next year, or at least getting a second contract. Martin Emerson, shaky year 3. Go get Will Johnson. Go get Travis Hunter. Go get a playmaker. Go get a bunch of guys. I would prefer that route than just taking one quarterback who is going to step into this roster and I think sink. I think sink like a rock in the ocean. Here we go. Browns kick it off, and we are live from Huntington Bank Field between the Browns and the Dolphins. Miami, by the way, with a loss, eliminated from the postseason. With a win, and they maintain a slight chance for Week 18. They got the help they needed. They needed the Colts to lose, and the Colts are going to lose to the Giants. If they haven't already. Has it been updated? No, Tankathon's usually on top of it the moment the game goes final. No Tua today. He is out with a hip injury. Myles Garrett will tee off against someone he went up against in training camp. Tyler Huntley. He is the Dolphins' backup quarterback. It's a pitch to Devon Achane and a strong run for Miami on 1st and 10. They get 9 yards. Come on, Tankathon. Give us the Giants' loss. Put the Browns at 3. Huntley, 2nd and 1, in shotgun. Takes the snap, throws it to the right. It's caught. Achane yet again. And Achane, great tackle by Denzel Ward. Achane had the first down with ease, but thought, hey, if I can get around Ward, no problem. There's some extra yardage ahead of him. Denzel making a nice open field tackle, limiting the gain. Still first down Miami, but could have been a whole lot more. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. And the Giants are going to win. They just forced a takeaway. It's 45-33, 12-point lead for New York. Flacco had no timeouts in the football, and he got strip sack. 1st and 10, so Flacco turns it over twice on their last 2 possessions to cost them the game. But the defense actually cost them the game. Run for Miami is good for 6. No Anthony Walker, by the way, for Miami. He is inactive. Also, Jalen Waddle inactive. So the Dolphins are down Tua, their middle linebacker, and Jalen Waddle, their number 2 receiver. 2nd and 4. Giants in victory formation. Huntley in shotgun approaching the 50-yard line. And we have pre-snap motion. I think it's going to be on the offensive line. Looks like it's going to be a false start. False start on the right side of the offensive line, so that'll back it up, make it 2nd and long. Tankathon, update it. The Giants' 10-game losing streak, by the way, will come to an end, marking the Bears' 10-game losing streak, the longest streak of the NFL, winning or losing. Can you guess who has the longest winning streak, by the way? That's a dumb question. It's the Chiefs. 2nd and 9. Huntley stepping up in the pocket, throwing over the middle. It's caught. Tyreek Hill, gain of 15 yards, 1st down Dolphins. That was a late hit right there. Flag. We got some extracurricular activities. Isaiah Wynn just came up and bulldozed a Browns DB after the play was mostly over. I think it's going to be after the play. It'll still be a 1st down Miami. First down. I think it's 1st down, but then you go back 15 yards from where the penalty was. Yeah. Yeah, Isaiah Wynn just lays out Rodney McLeod. It was a cheap shot. First and 10 for the Dolphins. They're right back to where they were. Oh, fumbled snap, and Huntley sacked. Down he goes. It's Myles Garrett. He just touches down a lifeless Tyler Huntley who fumbled the snap and had to dive on it, and Myles Garrett gets a birthday sack. Spam 95. He cleared 100 career sacks last game, and now he adds to it today. 2nd and 19. Dolphins going the wrong way. 34 yards in sacks or penalties in the last 60 seconds. Quick throw to the left side, and Achane catching it and getting a yard. A flag is thrown. I think it's going to be a holding on the Dolphins. Come on, Tankathon, update. Flag on the play. We'll see what it is. A little discussion right now. I think the discussion is if the Browns want to accept it or not. Which I would not. Yeah. I would let the down count and get yourself closer to third and very long rather than second and even longer. Lawrence, go Vols. Oh, take it on updated. No. I lied. But I don't understand why. The Giants are still picking. The Giants are picking 3, and the Browns are picking 4. But that doesn't make sense. What? The strength of schedule should have Cleveland picking before New York. So maybe I'll give it a second to update a little bit more. 4th and 5, I missed the entire third down play, but oh well. Miami's going to punt, and the Browns are going to get the ball with about 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. A good amount of fans there, I feel like. At least the lower bowl area. Fair catch called for at the 19-yard line by James Prochet. So 1st and 10 coming up for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, his second start of the season. Battled a little calf injury, I think is the way he described it. Just keep that one to yourself, Dorian. Like when the season's like this and you describe injuries as being little, even if they are, the fan base doesn't really want to hear like, oh, poor DTR, a little calf injury. Just keep that one to yourself. A little pro tip right there. Oh, I think you're right, cool guy. Yes, cool guy, thank you. That's why. The Browns are not picking 3rd yet because they're 3-12. They're not 3-13. But if they lose today and they become 3-13, then they jump up to 3. Cool guy, thank you. I was losing my marbles over here about why the Browns were not picking.
Are you looking for your marbles now?
Now let's turn the fan on. Got a little toasty. Uh-huh. We got over 500 people tuned in. If you super chat and guess who scores the first touchdown for the Browns, we're going to give you 10 raffle entries for an autographed Jerry Jeudy football, which we'll raffle off with a 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. So send in a super chat of any amount right now, and if you include the player who scores the first touchdown for the Browns, we're going to give you extra raffle entries, 10 to be exact, for a Jerry Jeudy signed football. Reed, who do you think scores the first touchdown? Here's the rest of the Super Chat menu, by the way.
Let's see. I honestly,
Want to go Jeudy? Oh, Jerome Ford. He's been good the last couple of weeks.
I really like
He has been good. I'm going to say there's no Njoku. No Tillman still, which, by the way, is becoming a concern. Remember, he got concussed in the win over the Steelers. That was what, Reed, week 12? I think. Wasn't the Browns-Steelers week 12? And then Broncos was week 13. Steelers was week 14. I guess I can just look it up. But anywho, no Tillman still. It's been about a month with a concussion. That's always, scary. I'm going to say first touchdown goes to – give me Jordan Akins. Give me Jordan Akins. Rose with a $5 super. First and 10 for the Browns at their own 19. Snap to DTR. It's a run for Jerome Ford, and that run goes nowhere. Second down and 10. Ooh, Allen. You know what, Allen? I'm going to make a deal with you right now. If Allen sends in a super chat that says no touchdown at all, I'll give, if anyone predicts no touchdown, 20 raffle entries. Yeah. Deal. My grandfather's a Bengals fan. He's trying to use us for his playoff run. I don't know how I feel right now. Oh, they need the Dolphins to lose, yeah. 2nd and 10, throw out to Judy, and a gain of 4. It always sounds great to tank. It never goes as well as you planned it will. Like, think about the Texans. Had they not beat the Colts in that Week 18 game, they would have picked first. They probably would have picked Bryce Young, and they wouldn't have C.J. Stroud. The NFL is a weird, tricky thing. Rose, thank you for your super. 3rd and 6 right now for DTR and company, just across their own 20. Snap to 17. In the pocket, throwing over the middle, and it's overthrown, incomplete. Searching for Elijah Moore. Do you guys think Elijah Moore comes back next year? He's a free agent. I don't think he's going to have a big market, but receivers always get a decent bag in free agency. I'm guessing the Browns are going to explore a return, but they're not going to overpay. So if someone else offers them more money or offers more and more money, I think the Browns probably bow out. Would you want Elijah Moore back? I'd be open to it. He's shown some good stuff. I don't think he's ever lived up to what the Browns gave up in a trade for him or what the Jets drafted him in round 2, as Bojorquez's punt is a bad punt. It's fielded and then returned to the 38-yard line, so solid field position for Huntley. Kathy says no. Cool Guy says I'd probably not. Let me ask you this right now. Let me put $1 to it. If Elijah Moore says I'll come back on a 1-year, actually make it a 2-year, $10 million contract, would you pay more $5 million a season? Yeah, I'd be open to it. I'd be open to it. All right, before we get any further, quick shout-out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as 15 minutes. Now, if you're wondering, how does Prize Picks work? Well, it's super simple. It's daily fantasy made easy. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. So here were the selections that producer Reed selected. He took the less on Josh Jacobs. I concur. He took the more on Jonnu Smith, who's been sneaky good, and the more on Tim Patrick, who also has been sneaky good. I like all 3 of these right here. So if you like these selections and you want to have some extra fun while watching these games later on, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. We got 39,552 subscribers. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We got a few super chats. One of them's coming from my throat, it looks like, so let's take that one head on. Refined, I don't know how you say that last one. Do you have an idea? Qualia? Okay. So this guy is a Browns and Broncos fan. Scammers. So this is a common question, super chat, whatever I get. And the way it works at Chat Sports is we're still a growing company. We don't have enough hosts for all 32 teams. So some hosts, like myself, have to double up or in some cases triple up on teams. I know that's kind of unusual and it's a little unorthodox, but I'll tell you guys this. My last job was covering small town radio in Wyoming, and then I got a job that I get to watch and cover the NFL for a living. So if it means I have to cover more than one team, which is a little bit unorthodox, a little unusual, I'll take it. And I'm guessing every single one of you would have done the exact same thing with a big smile on your face. So call me a scammer. I really don't care. I love what I do. I've been doing it for 3.5 years and not changing. So I would say appreciate your super chat, but I don't think this comes with a very friendly salutation.
And it's not like you're like, oh, I don't like the Browns, but I have to cover them. You enjoy the Browns. So it's like,
First and 10, yep.
Know.
For Huntley, his pass is caught. Tyreek Hill, first down. We got another super chat from Rose. If the Browns draft a quarterback, what would your thoughts be on Cam Ward from Miami? So let's talk a little bit about the prospect Cam Ward. Incredible arm. Really interesting story. Like hopped around, went to Encarte Ward in Texas, went to Washington State, then went to Miami. And there's a lot to like about Cam Ward's makeup. I just don't think he's got the 1 second incomplete pass on 1st and 10. I don't think he has that superhero skill set that takes a first overall pick, right? I haven't seen that super level moment where you go, that's why he's first overall. And you need to have a superhero, superhuman ability to go first overall amongst 375-ish players that get drafted. I don't think he has that level. I just haven't seen him poke through that ceiling. 2nd and 10, quick throw to Jonnu Smith, and I believe that's Jonnu Smith, yeah. The Dolphins tight end getting 12 yards and a first down. Emmett, do I think he'll be a bust? I think he'll be a bust if he goes first overall. I think if he were to be a day 2 pick, no, I think he'd have a solid career. But like from an expectation standpoint, I don't think he's going to live up to first overall pick expectations. Breakthrough, salute to you. 1st and 10. Pitch left, run for the Dolphins. Delpit. I've not said his name much this year, but he comes with a nice tackle for loss there, 2nd and 11. Alan, thank you for your kind comments. Jesse, that is very true. $700 people tuned in with us right now. Make sure to like the video. We got to 100 likes, so we're going to do a free raffle entry for the Jerry Jeudy signed football raffle. 2nd and 11 under center. It's a quick jet sweep here and a gain of 3 or so. So Ward making a nice tackle. We have 132 likes. Every 100 likes we get to is another free raffle entry for someone out of the chat. So if you haven't liked the video yet, you are doing yourself a disservice. Like the video. I know. So these mooks ain't even fans of the teams. They just pick them out of a hat and change jerseys. We find it's just staying with the narrative they have decided in their head. 3rd and 8, snap to Huntley. On 3rd down, his pass is caught. I think, Achan. They're going to call it a catch. It will be close to being an incompletion, though. Yeah. Holding on the offense. So, catch or no catch, it'll be 3rd and long. Do we want to stop?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to outright come out here and root for the Miami Dolphins, meaning root against the Browns. If the Browns lose, I'm not going to be distraught.
I should turn the exclamation mark into a question mark.
That was a catch by Achan. That was a catch by Achan, but the holding ruined it. I completely understand both sides of the argument of I'm not going to root against the Browns or I want them to get the best draft pick possible. I'm going to take the approach of whatever happens, happens. I'll spin zone myself into either way. 3rd and 18. Oh, I don't know. Dump off to A-Chain on 3rd and 18. He gets a block, and he gets about, I don't know, 11, 12 yards. Oh, Jimmy Carter just passed away? I guess I got to Google this. Yes. Former President Jimmy Carter passed away at 100 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Lived a very long life. Rest in peace to former President Jimmy Carter. Jason Sanders coming on for the field goal. Who's raising the volume? 54-yarder. And good. 54-yarder was doinked in. Off the upright and falls in. So Jason Sanders puts Miami on the board. Okay. We got to 100 likes. We're at 156 right now. That was my Boy Scout troop. Troop 156. So hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. But spam C for Cleveland right now. and we'll pick someone out of the chat for a free raffle entry for the Jerry Jeudy autographed football. If you want to guarantee a spot in the raffle, $5 super chat, and we'll toss your name in. Spam C. Spam C for Cleveland. I'll keep you guys updated on all the other scores, by the way, as the Vikings-Packers game just kicked off. Yeah, it's right here. Dave, tuning in from north of the border. Thank you for watching, Dave. Spam C. Brandon, thank you for tuning in. Okay, here we go. Are we ready to pause the chat? Spam C. Pause the chat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause it. YK Braden, longtime viewer. If you didn't get picked and you want to get picked, $5 super chat like Papa T just does. Bill's here. All the usual suspects are in the chat right now. Papa T, do you think 2 or 3 spots in the draft means much next year? No, but if it's the first overall pick, yes. Picking 4th versus picking 5th or 6th, probably not. Picking 1st, absolutely. Even picking 2nd, you could trade that pick away for a quarterback-needy team. Papa T, as always, thank you for your super. I do agree that we tend to, I wouldn't say overvalue draft picks, but in general, we kind of overvalue draft picks. We think they're all going to be guarantee hits, and we just forget about all the misses. But I do think that there is too much trust placed in, earlier, the better guaranteed. Jared, $5 super. I want the Browns to run for 200 yards. You and me have had no run games since week 2 of last year. They get some long runs from Jerome Ford, but it's either short or 70 yards, I feel like, from Ford. Kick return for Cleveland by Jerome Ford, by the way. Gets out across the 25-yard line. Breakthrough. Aren't we a quarterback-needy team? Yeah. It's a tough one to answer. I don't think the Browns are a quarterback away from doing anything. And I don't believe this is the quarterback class to fall in love with. So, yes, the reason why I don't call them a quarterback-needed team is because I don't want them to draft a quarterback in round 1 this year. So that's just me kind of pushing my own propaganda to calm the flames of draft a quarterback in round 1. I don't think you should draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. 1st and 10. DTR's throw is caught by Jordan Akins, gain of 2. What was your 7 to 6? Yep. Yeah, it is. My first touchdown prediction is Jordan Akins. He just caught that pass. Send in a $2 super chat with who you think is going to score the first touchdown, and if you are correct, we'll give you 10 raffle entries for our Jerry Jeudy signed football raffle. DTR, just before his own 30, takes a shotgun snap, looking to pass, throwing over the middle. It's caught. Jordan Akins yet again. First down, Brownies. Gain of 10. Goes face with a $2 super. $5, excuse me. Good start from DTR, though. I'm with you, PD. I'd much rather us lock in for a QB in 2026 season and get a Manning or Nico. Well, Nico is definitely not the most popular man after the Tennessee performance against Ohio State. But yes, Ghostface, I'm with you. I'd rather them build up the rest of the roster and get a quarterback in 2026. Quarterbacks come up all the time out of nowhere. This is not the year to try and fix your quarterback problem in the draft. You have other problems to fix. Fix those problems, right? This is a bad analogy, but here's a good one, or here's a crack at it. If I gave you $100 to go to the grocery store to go shopping, and you wanted to get steak, potatoes, mac and cheese, and a dessert, and you go to the butcher section and they're out of steak, would you then spend $60 on expensive chicken or just get the rest of the ingredients and get a steak at the next grocery store? I'd rather get a steak at the next grocery store. I'd rather not try and force fixing, the most important problem, quarterback, when there's not a good solution. 2nd and 11, DTR throwing deep, and it's nearly intercepted.
And next year, I'll be 6.
And then, yeah. And next year, I'll be 6. Mm-hmm. Holding on the defense gives the Browns a first down. So a 2nd and 11 incompletion. Storm Duck. That's a person? No way Storm Duck is a name. I mean, clearly Storm isn't like a real, I hope it's not a birth name. 1st and 10. And a handoff on the option to Jerome Ford goes for about 3 to 4 yards. If you're just tuning in, by the way, here's the current draft order going into the rest of the afternoon slate. Picking number 1, the New England Patriots. Picking number 2, the Tennessee Titans. Picking number 3, the New York Giants. Those are the 3-13 teams. If the Browns lose and join those 3-13 teams, they will have the 3rd overall pick. Right now, Cleveland, 3-12, is picking 4. They are a loss away from picking number 3 in the draft. Handoff goes to Pierre Strong. He gets about 4 on 2nd and 6. We'll have 3rd and short coming up next. Riley, do you see the Browns trading Myles Garrett? I don't think they will trade Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett may have used that open threat as a potential contract leverage. Like, Myles Garrett got paid, but a little while ago, and I don't believe he's even top 5 anymore in his position. So maybe he goes away in terms of like being disgruntled with a new contract in the offseason. 3rd and 12, a design run for DTR, and he's not going to get there. Ah, he might get there. Second effort. It looked like he was stopped for sure short, but it might be closer than I realized. Like, I wonder if Myles Garrett, goes. Let me see what. It's definitely 4th and inches. Browns are going to keep the offense on the field. No, replay assist just kicked in and gave the Browns a first down. Myles Garrett is the 4th highest paid defensive lineman. Myles Garrett makes $25 million a year. Nick Bosa makes $34 million. Myles Garrett is better than Nick Bosa, but we know salaries don't always equate to where you stand amongst your peers. It's usually about how recently you got paid. But he may want to close that gap. 1st and 10 for DTR from midfield, throwing deep left side, and it's through the hands of Judy. A nice ball from DTR still. Good pass on the 17. I think he's playing much better today than any other time we've seen him. 2nd and 10. Myles Garrett, by the way, has, beyond this season, 2 more years on his contract, 2025, 2026. Maybe they give him a 3-year, $90 million extension, and all of a sudden he's no longer thinking about a trade. Pierre Strong Jr. takes a 2nd and 10 handoff, and he goes for about half of the yardage. Cleveland knocking on the door of the Dolphins' red zone. Riley, maybe Quinn Ewers in round 4. If you can get Quinn Ewers in day 3, I'm all for it. I really am. DTR on 3rd and 5's pass is caught. Jerry Jeudy turning upfield. Jeudy down to the 25-yard line. Good drive out of 17. Soul Train, if the Browns lose, what pick will they be at before the final week? They will be at pick number 3 if they lose today. That is a fact. First and 10 at the 26. Handoff. Jerome Ford running. Ford loose. First down and more. Ford down to the 7. First and goal, Cleveland. Strong run from 34, and the Browns are inside the Prize Picks red zone. First and goal from the 7. DTR is going to let the clock wind down and take us to the second quarter. So after 15 minutes, it's 3-0 Miami, but a strong drive from the Browns offense has them in goal to go to start the second quarter. We've got Bengals fans rooting on the Browns. The reason why is if the Bengals, Dolphins, and Broncos all finish 9-8, it is, well, I don't know who it is then, actually. I think it might be the Dolphins. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. A quick shout out to our college football watch party season we have coming up. So we did some for the first round of games. We'll have more college football playoff watch parties here at Chat Sports for the quarterfinal. So make sure to dial in right here at Chat Sports for college football playoff watch parties. If you like these types of environments and settings for watch parties, subscribe to Chat Sports. That link is at the bottom of the screen. That way you can hang out with some other Chat Sports hosts and watch Oregon, Ohio State, ASU, Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame, Boise State, Penn State. Should we get some predictions right now? Reed, rapid fire really quickly. Oregon, Ohio State. Who you got? Go.
Oregon.
I'm going to stick with Oregon, but I think Ohio State is the second best team in the country right now. Texas, Arizona State. Go.
Texas.
I agree. Give me Texas. Georgia, Notre Dame. Go.
Georgia.
I'm going to go Notre Dame. I think Georgia's flawed this year. Their defense is good, but Carson Beck, while he does suck, they might miss some. Give me the Irish. Boise State, Penn State, go.
Penn State.
I'm going to go Boise State just for fun. But here's my issue. If I'm right, I can't picture Boise State or Notre Dame in the championship. And that would be the result for sure. So I guess it has to be Georgia, Penn State. I also can't picture Penn State in the championship game. But if it's Penn State, Notre Dame, I'm picking Penn State. And we'll see what happens after that. Oh. Bright Wolf, I am not hosting Ohio State, Oregon. I don't know who is. I think it's Stone. That makes sense, yeah. It's the Bengals guy. Yeah. He started doing content on the Ohio State channel here at Chat Sports. Pamela is here. First and goal for Cleveland to start the second quarter. Just outside the 5-yard line, DTR and company break the huddle, line up in a shotgun formation. The Browns red zone offense, 20th in the NFL. Snap to DTR, another run for Ford, and this one is going nowhere. Lost maybe one on the play. Packers-Vikings, by the way, scoreless 0-0, but major implications in that game. If the Vikings win, they are a Week 18 win away against the Lions from clinching the 1 seed. Oh, Conklin, are you okay? Is he okay? Okay, I think he's okay. I didn't like that. Second and goal. Snap to DTR. Flag thrown. Pass is incomplete. It was deflected up and then thankfully hit the ground. Was there motion before? Because there might be an illegal shift here, which would be fitting for the last home game to be just like the Browns' first home game. False start. I'm guessing it's on a receiver. No, illegal formation. Penalty was declined. How do we have illegal formations? Just brain farts on December 29th. The same brain farts that were there for week 1 against the Cowboys. It's just mind-boggling how these mistakes never got figured out or solved. And that's an indictment on Kevin Stefanski. 3rd and goal, it's a run for Jerome Ford. He is slowed down and pushed out of bounds, a gain of 1. It'll be 4th and goal from the 7. So likely, oh, here we go. I can't watch. It's Dustin Hopkins. He missed an extra point last week. That was the only time his number was called. 4th and goal. And it's Dustin Hopkins time. It's just a chip shot. It's like a 28-yarder. He is 16 of 25. 25-yarder for Hopkins. Kick is up, and it is good, but not great. But it is good. He is now 17 of 26. We're even at 3 early in the second quarter. There we go. Let's just run through some of the other scores, Reed, we had from the 1 p.m. slate. Bills clinched the 2 seed, by the way, with a win over the Jets. We got Browns, Dolphins even at 3. Raiders, Saints, tough day for Las Vegas fans. They now pick 8th in the draft. They went from being the number 1 overall pick to 8th in a 2-week span. Tough day for Raiders fans. Bucks, 48-14 over the Panthers. Tampa Bay getting a little bit closer to having a playoff spot. Chiefs, obviously on Christmas Day, routing the Steelers, along with the Ravens over the Texans. Jags beat the Titans. Here's why I think that's an ideal outcome for Cleveland. So, Jags beat the Titans. Titans in Week 18 play the Texans. Texans in Week 18 will have nothing to play for. So the Titans starters, well, not very good, could beat the Texans backups and put Tennessee behind Cleveland in the draft order if the Browns lose their last 2 games, which would improve Cleveland from 3rd in the draft to 2nd in the draft. Okay? And then there was, how can we forget, 6-3 on Thursday night, Seattle over Chicago. All-time game right here between the Broncos and the Bengals, 30-24 Cincinnati in overtime. Chargers routing the Pats earlier that day, and then Rams over the Cardinals on Saturday night. Trey McBride kind of had a touchdown pass go off his face mask and an incredible interception by Ahkello Witherspoon to close out the game for LA, who is that much closer to hosting a playoff game as the NFC West champion. Giants-Colts. This was a big win for Cleveland. Giants now fall back if the Browns lose to 4th in the draft, going from 1 to 4 because of this win. If Cleveland loses today, if the Browns win, then the Giants simply pick number 3. And the Eagles with Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee beat the crap out of Cooper Rush and the Cowboys 41-7. Eagles are getting closer to securing the 2 seed. Actually, they've secured the 2 seed. I think they still have a slight chance for the 1 seed. Cleveland will kick it off to restart the game. Touchback. Is this Dan Marino tearing his Achilles? Didn't Dan Marino tear his Achilles against the Browns? Like in 93? Or am I making that up? Someone older than me, tell me if I'm misremembering that. 1st and 10. Huntley under center. Play action. Pass over the middle is caught Tyreek Hill. And he is tripped up, but not before a gain of 35 yards. And they're on the Cleveland half of the 50. Soul Train, I'll be doing a deeper dive on Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders because Neither one really seemed possible to me because I didn't think other teams would lose as much as they have, or the Browns would continue losing. I don't think Deion's going to let Shador come to Cleveland. So I'm just not going to get my hopes up much. But even if I did want him, which I don't think it has a chance of happening. 1st and 10, it's a run for A-Chain, gain of 4. Laura, thank you. I'm not crazy. I guess it was the next year than the CBS highlight they just showed. Is it likely Raheem gets 10.5 longest rush? I wonder why you're asking. Sure, why not? Although, no, it's been an A-Chain day. I'm going to say no. 2nd and 7. Pitch to A-Chain. He is bottled up. Loss of 1 or 2. Nice play by Jordan Hicks. Hicks and Devin Bush, the 2 linebackers who have had a much larger role with JOK out, I think have played really good football the last couple of weeks. If you're looking for a slight bright spot, it's you run it back with those linebackers again. Bush, Hicks, and when JOK is healthy. 3rd and 9. In October of 93 against the Browns. Snap to Huntley on 3rd down, running to his right, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. Jordan Hicks applied the pressure, and it's 4th and 9. So after giving up a big play to Tyreek Hill on 1st down, the Browns defense stands tall and forces a punt from their own 45. Huntley right there thought maybe I could outrun Hicks and quickly discovered, oh, that's a fast cat. That's not happening. So before the offense comes back on the field, we'll continue our deal. Super chat and guess the first touchdown for the Browns, and you'll get 10 raffle entries. Still awaiting our first touchdown for Cleveland. If you super chat the name and you are correct, 10 raffle entries. The raffle is going to be a signed Jerry Jeudy football, autographed football. Real deal and everything. Vikings just missed a 57-yard field goal, still scoreless between themselves and the Packers halfway through the first quarter. That 57-yard field goal was just short. The rest of our Super Chat menu, if you want to get a letter in the mail that's not just junk or spam, send in a $10 Super Chat. I'll write you a letter with my predictions for 2025. Hold on to that for the year, and then tell me how awful I was at the end of 2025. But if you want to have that in your mailbox, $10 Super Chat, just email me your address. We'll put that email at the bottom of the screen in just a second here. If you want to get added to the Brown and Orange Club, we're going to lower it $20 for the rest of the season. So if you want to get some shout-outs along the way, $20 Super Chat if you enjoy the free content we provide. And then $100 Super Chat would really turn the AC or turn the heat up on the show. We'll have you sponsor a show. So the show will be brought to you by blank. And if you want to support the channel and get your name on screen a little bit extra, $100 Super Chat, and we'll set that up for you. We are closing in on 39,600 subscribers. 921 of you watching. Salute to everyone with the stones to tune in for a Browns Week 17 game against a 7-win Dolphins squad with no Tua. I don't even know what happened to Tua, really. A hip injury throughout the week just worsened or something? That kind of came out of nowhere. We are closing in on 200 likes. We're 15 away. If you haven't liked the video yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that thumbs up button. Guns N' Roses, it's a hip injury for Tua. That's all I know. I did see a report from Rap Sheet this morning. Did you see this? It talked about 2 quarterbacks for the Browns for 2025. One is someone we have talked about. The other is someone we have not talked about much. Yeah. Oh, Ken G! Ken G. Blake Whiteheart. He caught the touchdown for the Browns against the Raiders, right? When Watson and company drove down the field, it was 10-0 Cleveland, and then the Raiders put up like 20 unanswered. Kenji, thank you for your help and your support. 1st and 10 for DTR. It's a throw to Jerry Jeudy, who was very quiet in DTR's first start against the Bengals. A lot of attention today so far. The two quarterbacks that Rappaport pointed out for the Browns.
I'm going to guess Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh! I don't like either option, but beggars can't be choosers. And that's kind of the spot you're about to find yourself in. There's a lot of bad options, but unless someone gives me a good option, I don't really want to hear about the complaining. I'm a part of the complaining at times, but someone present a better option.
Does this mean bye-bye Jameis?
I don't get why they'd bring back Jameis if they just wanted to. I think this might be a fumble. It was a throw to Jerry Jeudy, and it might be a lateral pass, which was dropped, and then Dolphins recovery. We'll see if this was a forward pass or not. It was very close. I initially thought it was a forward pass, but they let it play out, and they're going to say Dolphins football, but this will be a very simple review. Was this a forward pass? For the time being, it's Miami football. I think it's going to be a forward pass. Watch what DTR throws it from. Yep. I think it's yeah, they already overturned it.
I love how they started celebrating, too.
Yeah. Forward pass. Shaylin's in the chat. 3rd and 10. Who's going to join Ken G? Right now, he's the only one with a duck in the pond. Snap to DTR on 3rd down, rolling to his right, and he has to chuck it into the ground incomplete. 3 and out for Cleveland, and it'll be Miami football. What are we going to spam? Oh, we got to 210 likes. Let's spam 1 for getting the first overall draft pick, maybe. Let's do that. Spam 1 if you want the first overall draft pick. Spam 1 if you want the first overall draft selection. Punt return for Miami by Tyreek Hill, crossing the 20. Hill navigating to the 30, and that's where he stopped. Spam 1. We're going to pick someone out of the chat for a free raffle entry for an autographed Jerry Jeudy football. Spam 1. Ray's here? Good to see you, Ray. Okay, here we go. I think DTR's played all right today. Ready to pause this chat? Spam 1. Pause the chat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause it. Beth is the absolute queen of getting free raffle entries. And then capitalizing on those free raffle entries. Quick reminder for everyone. I know some of you have already heard this, but the Browns, if you are just tuning in, currently have the 4th overall draft pick. If they lose today, they will have the 3rd overall draft pick. If they win, they will be 4-12, and they will fall to pick number 9. Yeah. If the Browns win, they pick 9th. That's what's at stake here. If they lose, they pick 3rd. If they win, they pick 9th. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no. They'd pick 8th. They would pick 8th. If they win, they pick 8th. If they lose, they pick 3rd. That's the swing that can happen with a win today. Do you want the Browns to win? Win, they pick 8th. Lose, they pick 3rd. And if they're picking 3rd, the teams picking 1 and 2 next week in Week 18 are playing backups. The Patriots are playing the Bills. The Bills will likely rest their starters. They have nothing to play for. And the Titans are playing the Texans. The Texans also have nothing to play for, but they're not really in a spot to rest their starters. They suck. And CBS interrupting the Browns game to inform us of the news that we passed on earlier, and that is President Jimmy Carter passing away at 100 years old. Invalid argument with a $20 super chat. Add him to the Brown and Orange Club ASAP. Oh, there it is. Put me in that Brown and Orange Club, Petey. I sense a Browns win coming today. What is the most ideal roster for next season? Watson has got to go, I know that much. I'll bet $100 Watson will play great for the next team. I don't think there is a next team. Who's going to sign him and take on the baggage and the poor play? I think Watson's career is over if he's not playing in Cleveland. 1st and 10, pass has caught Tyreek Hill running east and west, but still getting the first down. Here's my prediction for the Browns quarterback room. You ready? Deshaun Watson's going to start the year off he's going to go into the spring practices and training camp on the PUP list. Whether he's healthy or not, they're going to keep him on the PUP list. The other quarterbacks then. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a rookie, an insert veteran that remains to be named. And that veteran could be Kirk Cousins, could be Aaron Rodgers, could be Justin Fields, could be Jacoby Brissett, could be Jameis, but I find it weird for them to bring back Jameis after they just benched him. And a major disaster as Washington for the Dolphins. That's the rookie out of Virginia, I believe. Just got tackled for a big loss on 1st and 10. It'll be 2nd and 19. The first defender was Grant Delpit. And then Isaiah McGuire eventually brings him down. So there's my prediction. I'm going to say the quarterback room for the roster is Watson's on PUP, DTR, rookie, Kirk Cousins. Most ideal is probably something like that because I don't think you're going to find a much better option. I don't like this rookie class when it comes to quarterbacks. 2nd and 21. And a run for Huntley is good for about 10 yards. Can I toss one rookie out there that might catch the Browns' eyes? What about Kyle McCord?
Somebody was asking.
What about Kyle McCord?
What about the guy from Syracuse? Does he have eligibility left?
No, he is out of eligibility. He does not. He is going pro. What do you guys think about Kyle McCord? I didn't realize just how great of a year he was having until I saw he set the ACC passing record. I know Buckeyes fans are just kind of ready to move on from that. Got to put that out there. 3rd and 14, a little swing pass to Achane, and the second-year man from A&M gets about half of the yardage. Going to throw that out there. Jim Miro! If there were 8 downs, DTR would go 7 and out most times. What are we doing? I agree that I don't have any further evaluation needed for DTR to know that he is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Probably going to be a backup for like 5 years, 6 years. But I agree. I don't need to see much more from DTR to know this. However, the Browns, I guess, had seen enough from Jameis. I don't see why or how they bring back Jameis after benching him. If you were going to stick with Jameis for next year, I'd continue playing him. Will Howard or Kyle McCord in the draft and bring in Justin Fields? I don't think Fields fits what Stefanski wants to do. If you look at the quarterbacks Stefanski has had success with, it's not really the mobile ones, right? That's what they kind of try to design the offense around for Watson. I don't think Fields is going to be a Brown. Personal foul on the Browns. Well, that was interesting. My guess is Justin Fields is an Indianapolis Colt next year. If they want to bench Anthony Richardson, they would have a potential long-term guy with Fields, whereas that really wasn't the case with Flacco. I'm going to guess Fields is a Colt.
Question.
Yeah.
I always thought mentioning Fields. Do you think the Bears should have kept Fields?
No.
And then
No.
You don't think
No.
so?
I don't care what comes next in that sentence. No.
Yeah, because I always think about that when we talk about drafting a quarterback, and it's like, in our minds, it's always every time we go to the draft, it's like that's going to be better than whatever we have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But
no. The group clamoring for the Bears should have kept Fields are forgetting they weren't winning games with Fields either. They got the first overall pick last season with Justin Fields as the starter. So, don't come at me with wins being a bad indicator for Caleb. They didn't win with Fields. And Caleb outperformed Justin Fields in 2023 in Williams' first year.
And it's only somebody like Caleb Williams
where
the Browns would be like, yes, let's totally take him in the first round if we have a good pick. But with these two guys right now, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, it's not worth it.
Bright Wolf, last year you said Fields is a Falcon. Maybe he should have been a Falcon. Would you rather have traded for Justin Fields, the same trade the Steelers made, a 6th-round draft pick, or signed Kirk Cousins to a $180 million contract? We'll only talk about the $90 million. That's all that matters. That's the guaranteed. So, yeah, he was not a Falcon being Kirk Cousins. Justin Fields. I was wrong about that. But at the same time, maybe he should have been a Falcon because signing Cousins was not a good move by the Falcons. Yep. Invalid argument added to the Brown and Orange Club. Thank you, Invalid Argument, for all of your support. First and 10 for Cleveland at their own 5-yard line. And it's a run for Deontay Foreman. Well, that's just his second carry, I believe, in like the last 2 months. His first carry was a fumble at the 1. That was the opening drive last week against the Bengals. I guess they are giving him a second shot. 2nd and 5. Why does Tua look... I don't know how to describe his look right now, but it doesn't look like Tua. Kind of looks like he's going through a detox right now. Jim Miro! 2nd and 5, DTR, handoff to Foreman, and it's a gain of 3 or 4. Will be 3rd and short. You should do a Super Bowl watch party. I'd be in. Maybe. We have a lot of channels here at Chat Sports, so whoever makes the Super Bowl will have a watch party of their own. We also always have a main channel watch party. So they may not like us doing too much like cannibalism with our other channels. But I appreciate the thought. I do. I do appreciate that. 3rd and 1, a run for Foreman, and 3 straight carries, and he nets a first down. First down, Brownies. About 6 to go in the opening half. First and 10. It's a handoff to Ford. And Ford is injured on the play. No gain, but he is slow to get up, and he is hobbling. There is a flag. Ford is just going to hop off the field. His right leg holding on the offense, and they're going to have an injury timeout for Jerome Ford. Wyatt Teller with the hold. So Ford gets attended to with 6 minutes remaining. Let's talk a little bit about Teller and the offensive line and the future for that group. Joel Petonio has tossed out the idea of retiring. He did that last year, came back ultimately. I think Joel Petonio at this point of his career is an above-average guard. He is still a starter, and he's a good starter. He's not an all-pro anymore, which is a bummer, but that just comes at the price of aging and injuries, and he's had some bad injuries lately. I think either Petonio or Teller is gone after this year. And if it's not Petonio retiring, it might be the Browns moving on from Teller. And I think Teller's actually played some good football this season. He missed some time early on with a knee injury, but I think one of those two guys is going to be a goner. And Zach Zinter will start next year at guard, and it'll be a much cheaper guard as well because both Petonio and Teller are on decent contracts. Dylan, what if we bring back Greg Williams as DC and rehire Bill Callahan? I mean, if Bill Callahan's son, who's the head coach of the Titans, gets fired, I'm all for bringing Bill back. I meant to point this out, and I'm mad I didn't, in my video I did last night from the crib, and it was about Kevin Stefanski's job security. And it had an interesting nugget in it, and it talked about Mike Vrabel likely leaving for a head coaching job. But Vrabel was nonchalantly appointed in this article, essentially the Browns' de facto offensive line coach. Well, that's news to me. Why isn't Andy Dickerson the offensive line coach? The offensive line coach. The offensive line this year has been underwhelming for the investments that are made into it, right? Big contracts to Petonio, Teller, Conklin. First-round pick Jed Wills. Decent contract to Ethan Posick. And it wasn't a top 10 unit. And for that investment, it should be top 10. There's 32 teams. It should be 7 to 10 for the amount of investment that was made in that side of the football. We got some more supers flying in. Can we peek at the Super Chat battle read when you get a moment? Jim Miro, why am I thinking DTR is going to do just enough to knock the Browns out of a top 5 pick? It's today or nothing, because it won't be against the Ravens next week. I'm pretty confident that Baltimore will have something to play for in Week 18. So it's going to be the next 36 minutes as Jerome Ford is going to go to the locker room with an injury. 1st and 19 after that Teller hold. Cleveland at their own 9-yard line. And Jim, I'm starting to think the same as you. DTR. Shotgun snap. Drops back to pass. Throwing over the middle, and it's caught. Jerry Jeudy on 1st and 19 gets about 18 yards. Will be second and short. We also got another super chat coming in. Ray, what's the Browns draft position looking like today? Ray, I'm glad you asked. Right now, the Browns currently have the 4th draft pick. That's because they haven't played their game yet. If the Browns lose, they pick 3. If the Browns win, they will be picking 8th. A run on 2nd and 2 goes for about 5 yards by Deontay Foreman. The tiebreaker, by the way, is strength of schedule. Whoever has the easier strength of schedule is going to pick earlier. You had an easy schedule compared to another team with the same record, and you still lost the same amount of games. So the Browns, with the strength of schedule being a bit tougher than other 4-12 and 3-13 teams, would go either from picking 3rd to picking 8th, depending on if they win or lose. 1st and 10, DTR throwing, intercepted. It's picked off at the 50-yard line. Intercepted. And DTR, I think, was playing pretty good. Just got picked off. I think this might be a penalty, or it should be at least. He takes his helmet off. First and 10, Miami, and there's the penalty, too. You can't take your helmet off. So it's going to go from 1st and 10, Miami at the 50 to 1st and 10, Miami at the 35. What's the obsession with players for taking off their helmet and dropping the football as they cross the goal line? Why is that a cool thing? I don't get the removing your helmet as like a yes. He just cost the team 15 yards. Jared. Oh, no. Jared, I'm so sorry. Njoku is not playing today. He's out with a hamstring injury. Jared, just put a different name in the chat, and we'll go with that name. I'm so sorry, Jared. If we didn't tell Jared, he'd be like, where the fuck is 85? Pass completed on 1st and 10 out to the 40, gain of 5. What's Tyreek Hill's receive? Do you want to guess? For his career. I'm saying for this season. Yeah. I'm not convinced Hill's at 1,000 yards this year.
I want to say.
I'm going to guess like 890.
I was going to go 730.
Tyreek Hill this year, 834. And that includes today. Tyreek Hill had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, five games below 30 yards. He had a game with 8 yards once. Penalty on the offense for the Miami Dolphins. It'll back up a decent gain. And the interception is just going the wrong way. First, a penalty by the player who picked off the pass for taking his helmet off. And now a penalty on Teron Armstead with the rain coming down in Northeast Ohio. 2nd and 15. By the way, the most exciting game of the day, I'll say, Vikings-Packers. Minnesota leading 7-3. 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 15, snap to Huntley. Huntley is sacked. Down he goes. It's Isaiah McGuire. Okoronkwo is out today, and McGuire, who has climbed up the depth chart with Alex Wright going on IR, Zadarius Smith getting traded, and Okoronkwo getting hurt, he has had a starting role for himself and has made a good, resume and good platform with that opportunity. Soul Train. Trade back to 10-16 and get a 26 first-round pick too. I don't think you have to go that far back to get an additional first. Soul Train, let's say the Browns pick first or second. I think they could net a future first from the Raiders if the Raiders are picking 8 or 9. False start on the Dolphins, by the way. This interception has just been a disaster from the inception of it, with a penalty after a penalty, with a sack, and then another penalty. 3rd and 27. Papa T, $5 super. Well, I'm going to bet the mortgage this is going to be a quick wide receiver screen to the left. That's exactly what it is. And D. Eskridge, the former second-round pick, right, for the Seahawks? I think he was a second-round pick out of one of the directional schools from Michigan. Gets like 6 or 7 yards. 4th down. Great job by the Browns defense, but the Dolphins doing a lot of help for the Browns by shooting themselves in the foot with penalty after penalty. And now Miami is going to punt it away, but we will. If the Dolphins are smart, they're going to punt this ball right at 2:01. No, they'll take the 2-minute warning. Pam! Papa T, make the change now. Delpit, touchdown. If Grant Delpit scores a touchdown at any point, Papa T, I'll give you 10 raffle entries. Pamela! Elijah Moore for the first touchdown. I like it. Get your touchdown predictions in. That is still open like it was last week. Remember, the Browns didn't score their first touchdown till what? Late in the 3rd quarter, I think it was? Or was it the 4th quarter? No, who scored? Remember, the Browns lost like 20-6 because they missed the extra point. Or 27-6. Who scored the touchdown last week? Was it Judy? I gotta look. This is bothering me. Who scored?
I have a fun surprise for
It was
halftime,
24-6, and no, it was Jerome Ford. Remember he had the big run, and then he pushed it himself.
I have a fun surprise
Yeah.
for halftime.
Ooh, I like this. I like it. Pamela. I'm not going to lie, IHOP has been putting on this major advertising campaign recently, and it's got me. I haven't been yet, but I want to. I've never been to IHOP. All right, quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks now offers Venmo and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this season. Here are my selections for some games happening later on. I took the less on Josh Jacobs and the more on Jonnu Smith, which is off to a decent start. He's only got 1 grab today, and the more on Tim Patrick for Monday night. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. We'll throw this question on screen. Can you peek the Super Chat battle? Josh, I got Chipotle last night for dinner. Ooh, what's the go-to protein at Chipotle? I think Chipotle, I could have a show about my experiences with Chipotle and my opinions on it. Because I love and hate them at the same time. Punt is away for the Dolphins. Fair catch, not called for. James Prochet slips out of 1 tackle, and he goes down at the 42-yard line. Great play by 11. It's Matthew Hancock, Mr. Jeremy Beadling. What was for lunch today? But what specifically? No, I hopped in the kitchen. There were no tacos remaining, and that was fine. There were none in the tray at all. Breakfast tacos. As I was saying, so I was curious what was left because there was just a thing of meat, and I was like, no, I know. I was just wondering what was in the big tray though. No, I the fajitas are there, but the tacos are gone, so I didn't know what was there. Before, yeah. I'm familiar with the art of fajitas. These guys over there, there's tortillas next. I'm like, I fucking know what a fajita is. I'm saying there's a big empty tray, and I wanted to know what was in that tray. Yeah. 2nd and 6. Did you have a nice Hanukkah? You want to take the mic from Reed? I want to hear about it a little bit from the Raiders' perspective. So, first down run for the Browns. Actually, can we just wait till the end of this 2-minute drive right now?
Yes.
We've got the Raiders producer, Jeremy Chugs, here, and the Raiders lost, and that could be good for the Browns to get the first overall pick. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to DTR. He's going to check it down incomplete. Minute to go, all 3 timeouts remaining. Second and 10. DTR just across the 50-yard line. Who gets the ball to start the second half? Browns get the ball to start the second half. Snap to 17. Thompson-Robinson throwing right side. It's caught Elijah Moore. Gain of 1. I think the clock should run here. They are going to do the Browns a favor. To me, it looked like Elijah Moore was running backwards when he went out of bounds. And if you go out of bounds while going backwards, the clock does not stop. They don't even give him a gain on the play. 3rd and 10. They could have ran the clock there, or maybe my eyes were wrong, but I thought he was going backwards as he went out of bounds. Snap to DTR. His throw over the middle is caught, and it's Pierre Strong getting 9 yards. 4th and 1, the Browns offense is going to go for it. No, a timeout's going to get called first. Miami burns a timeout. This is a bold decision for Miami. If the Browns convert this, the Dolphins will have saved them a timeout and gave them time. If I were Miami, I would not have called that timeout. I would have kind of called the Browns' bluff a little bit, let the clock run down, and if you stop them, if they get it, there's no time anyway. And if you stop them, well, who cares? You stopped them. We got 39,626 subscribers trying to reach 40K. Help me out. It's the season of giving still. Make it your New Year's resolution, starting now, that you will subscribe to the Cleveland Browns Report. Invalid argument. Crappy. Update your damn scoreboard. I don't know what's wrong about the scoreboard. It's 3-3. It's a run on 4th and 1. He's not going to get it. Oh, maybe he does get it, actually. It'll be close. You got a super chat, Jeremy. I think he's short, but maybe under review they'll change it. No frickin' way. Doctor, no! Where have you been? It's going to be Miami football with 40 seconds at about midfield. So I'm not in the mindset that you and or Mitch and Marshall are, which is actively rooting against the team. It always sounds great in January. How often do we see teams tank and then just continue sucking? So I'll just let the chips fall where they may. If the Browns win, cool. If the Browns lose, cool. But I'm not going to be distraught over them winning. Matthew Hancock, Malik Washington, first touchdown. I was a big fan of him coming out of Virginia. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Their pass is intercepted. It's Martin Emerson. Picked off across the 40. Emerson on his feet. There is a flag, but Emerson with a 25-yard return inside the Dolphins' 30-yard line. I think that's MJ's first pick of the year. There is a flag, though, and I think it's on the Browns. Pass interference defense. It's on Emerson, who got the pick. The next level thinking I want to see is in very rare situations like this where a play happens, but a flag is thrown. Yeah, that's PI, whatever. If the flag's thrown, meaning nothing's going to result out of this, but the clock does not stop, try to kill as much clock as you can. Or as an offense, if you know a penalty is coming on you, end the play as quickly as possible. If you see like the illegal shift happen, why run a 10-second play? It's a touchdown, but illegal shift. And you lose 10 seconds. 1st and 10. Pass is caught. Wow, what a play. Gain of 12. And the Dolphins will call a timeout with 21 seconds. Yeah, we can hear Marsh. He was devastated. But you guys, Super Chat, Storm Chasen, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support as always. And Colts lost, so the path got a little bit easier for Denver, even if they were to lose next week. Invalid argument. This is for you, Jeremy.
What up, Chugs? Browns, Raider Nation for Live. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channels. Rough year for your two teams, if that's the case, Invalid. Very rough year for your two teams, man. But thanks for sticking with it.
I don't know if we'll have time to quarterback that because we'll be switching from this to that pretty quickly. Yeah, I'll just do pizza or something. 1st and 10. I like the hut. No, fuck Olive Garden. I don't want any pasta. Nope, no pasta. 2nd down. Dolphins just burned their 3rd and final timeout. Invalid, thank you for your support as always. Another super chat rolling in from Dr. No. Dr. No, if you don't know, was a viewer like 2 seasons ago. And I don't really remember how it organically. I think it might have been during the Browns-Dolphins game. Remember the Browns-Dolphins game after Cleveland's bye? Browns got blown out on the road. I think that's where Dr. No started watching the channel. And it's been a long time, Dr. No, but welcome back. In Tua, we trust. I'm a Tua guy. I like Tua. I'm not a Tua hater. We are all Dolphins fans today. Dr. No, you're not wrong here. I will not be upset if the Dolphins win. Snap to Huntley. His pass is caught. Clock's running. Here we go. No timeouts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With 1 second. So now you know how long it takes to spike a football after getting 12 or so yards. About 12 seconds. Maybe it's a second a yard. 2nd and 10, but it'll be a field goal attempt. Screw the Raiders. Dolphins are the best. Raiders fans kind of annoy me because they think they are Raiders. They think being a Raider fan gives them permission to behave like a pirate. So here comes Sanders for a 39-yard field goal attempt. It is up, and it is good. Just barely, though. So a 6-3 lead for Miami to start or to end the first half. Robin Smith, ladies and gentlemen. First-time super chatter. You know the drill. 2 claps. 1, 2. Thank you so much, Robin. My email's at the bottom of the screen, or it will be in a quarter second. If you would like to get a letter in the mail from yours truly with some predictions for 2025 for the Brownies, just shoot me a note with your address, and I'll pop a letter in the mail to you. And that way you can get something that's not just junk mail, and you can have something to hold on to see if my predictions and takes age horribly or soundly-ish. Thank you so much, Robin, though. All right. First half stats coming up, and then I'll turn it over to Reed for a little. Quick red zone peek, though. The Vikings are leading the Packers 7-3. If you're just tuning in, I said this earlier. If Minnesota wins today, Week 18, Vikings-Lions is for the 1 seed and the NFC North. 6-3, Dolphins over the Browns at the half. I don't really care about. That's my tweet again. Thoughts on the Browns first half? They are 30 minutes away from having the number 3 pick in the draft. I don't think this is new information, but it just needs to be reminded and said. DTR is not the long-term piece at quarterback. I think he can be an NFL backup. I don't think he's a starter. I know he's not a starter. To me, that's just very obvious. But how would you guys grade the first? Who cares? Don't grade the first half. I'm busy looking at Tankathon right now. They are 30 minutes away from having the 3rd overall pick in the draft. It would go Patriots, Titans, Browns, Giants, Jags for the top 5. Patriots, Titans, Browns, Giants, Jags. So here are the halftime stats. DTR, 7 of 15, 58 yards, 1 interception. That pretty much sums it up. Judy, 3 grabs, 36 yards. Try to get him some extra stats to close out the year. There you go. Yeah, I know. I'll turn it over to Reed for some halftime shenanigans. Oh. So here's Reed for some halftime deals and whatnot. I'll be back in 5 or so minutes for the start of the 3rd quarter.
Hello! All right, what's going on, everybody? I have a fun little, I had a feeling, just had a small feeling that this game would not be exciting. So I got some little exciting. rhymes with peel. Little wheel action. All right. Here we go. All righty. Half off halftime. Double the raffle entries, so whatever it was on the Super Chat menu, double the raffle entries. Storm Chasing, send it in a Super Chat. So every Super Chat is a beer cheers. I don't have a beer right now, but I do have the rest of my energy drink. Like I said, double the raffles, and then wheel spin. So if anyone sends a $10 wheel spin, or a $10, we'll take a look at the wheel. Pretty cool. It's got some cool stuff on there. It is a wheel of raffle entries. So you could get a bunch, you could get a little bit. But either way, $10, you'll get 2 raffle entries, and then spin the wheel and see if you get more. I'll show it to you real quick. But first, I want to show this Super Chat from Storm Jason. Saying, just remember, the first pick isn't always best pick. Yeah, that's what we were saying. I mean, there are so many times where, the Panthers, they picked number 1, and they have high picks each year, and still terrible, and still in the top 10 of picking year after year, and a lot of these teams that are in the top 10 for picking, and it's like, well, wasn't it supposed to be better because you got the pick 3 years ago, but now you're still picking in the top 10? I don't know. Storm Chasing, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little taste of this wheel action here. All right. So here we go. So make it interesting. $10 Super Chat. We get to spin this. You get either 1 entry, 10 entries. You get to spin again. 2 entries, 6 entries, 1 entry, 10, no entries. So if you send in $10, you'll get 2 raffle entries. Plus, you get to spin this wheel and see what happens. If you can't Super Chat, if we get to 300 likes, I'll spin this wheel, because we're at 267 right now. If we get to 300 likes before halftime, Papa T already sending in a Super Chat. He said, spin that mother. He wants it. Let's go. Let's go. Let me throw your Super Chat up first. He said, Reed, keep rocking, spin that mother. Papa T, shout out to you. You are a real one. You and Max T always showing up no matter what the Browns' record is, no matter who they're playing. Shout out to you, man. Always a real one. All right. Let's see. So that's 2 entries for Papa T. Let's see if he gets any more. Spin that wheel, baby. Let's see, Papa T. Papa T. Papa T. 6 more entries. So that's 8 total for you, Papa T. Papa T getting 8 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good stuff, Papa T. Ghostface. Ghostface wants one as well. Here we go. Ghostface, you got first one here, which is Let's Go Browns. Let's Go Browns. And then you got another $10 one to spin that wheel. Come on, man. Give me it. Refresh. Refresh, refresh, refresh. One moment, please. Oh, that was Papa T's. What are we doing here? One moment, please. Come on, computer. Technology, man. What's going on? Here we go. Ghostface. Sweet deal, Reed. Let's spin it. Of course, man. Anything for you. All right. Here we go. So you got 2 right now with that $10. Could get some more here. What do you got here? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Spin again. All right. All right. This is like a safety valve. That's why I put it in there. You're like, all right. So spin again. So didn't get any extra, but you just get to spin again to see what happens. No way. Oh my God. Okay. We just want to spin again. Let's go. Let's go, Ghostface. Dude, you are magnetic to that spin again, but you got 2 extra entries, so that's 4 total. There you go. There you go, Ghostface. You got 4 total. 3, 4. There you go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right, I'll throw this back up here. There we go. All right. So for Ken G, I saw Ken G saying, "Let's go Browns," and then Storm chasing. Since it's half off halftime, $2 super chats, 1 raffle entry. Because usually it's 5. I'll take $2 as half of 5. So I'll put a little Ken G. Ken G getting one right here. And then Storm chasing. Storm chasing. Storm chasing 7. All right. Yeah, no problem, Ghostface. This is what halftime's for. Game is not fun to watch. What is fun to watch is people getting extra raffle entries. So yeah, if you want a little chance at that fun wheel, $10 wheel spin. If you can't, like I said, if we get to 300 likes before halftime is over, we'll spin this again, and I'll pick somebody out of the chat. We'll do like you spam. I'll pick somebody out of the chat, and then it'll be spinning the wheel for them. So if you haven't liked the video already, like it. We get to 300 likes. Somebody gets a chance at that wheel. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? If you love the Browns and you want to watch videos about the Browns all off season, this is going to be a packed off season with the draft. Who knows what draft pick the Browns are going to get, but we'll have you covered all off season. So hit that subscribe button. I always like to say it's not subscribing because it's free. Usually when you hear subscribe, it's like you're subscribing for a certain amount of money. It's like following. You're just following the Browns Report on YouTube. And you get to see all the videos we make and participate in our live shows. And it's by Chat Sports, not...
Let's go, Browns!
Oh, we got Marshall Green.
Let's go, Browns! I love you, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Marshall Green, host of Giants Now.
Are we wanting to win or losing here?
We just want some good football to watch, and we're not getting any of that.
DTR's half is here.
Marshall Green, host of Giants Now, wants the Browns to win because he wants the Giants to have a better draft pick. So he's a big Browns fan. Halftime's almost over. Kathy, I grew up in Cleveland, and you have your rose color, and you have your rose-colored glasses on. GS. I do not know what that means. I'm sorry, Kathy. About 600 people watching. Shout out to you guys. It's tough. Tough watching the Browns in Week 17. So shout out to you guys for hanging out with us. Whew. If anyone, so we're 19 likes away from 300. Halftime is about to be over. Anyone who hasn't liked the video already, like it. We get to 300. We'll spam the chat, pick somebody out of the chat, and we'll spin that fun wheel for that person. Ghostface, yeah, I think that number 3 draft pick is the Browns. That's my guess. But we'll see what happens, and we'll have you covered. So lots of draft content coming your way soon. Chubbs with a super chat. Come on, computer. Chubbs, I'll get your super chat up in just a second. Come on, computer. I need like that quicker refresh or something. Oh, man. Well, Chubbs, I'm trying. Computer won't let me.
We are back
Petey's
for
here.
the second half for the Browns-Dolphins game. Miami leading 6-3, and it's Cleveland ball to start the second half. And it goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Do we see Bailey Zappi? Look how dark it is, by the way. I mean, 5:42 on the East Coast. But Chubbs, Mary Kay just said Zappi coming in. Well, let's watch. Mary Kay either was misinformed or you misheard, because I see Dorian Thompson-Robinson on the field right now. DTR takes a 1st and 10 snap. His pass is deflected, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Shout out to everyone who participated in half off halftime. Real ones.
Yeah, to everyone that super chatted and whatnot during halftime and just hung out here, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Chubbs, I agree. I think at some point we're going to see Bailey Zappi, but it's still DTR for the time being. 2nd and 10. DTR's pass is completed. Just a small gain. Jerry Jeudy on the receiving end. No, what was the wheel? I missed it. So 3rd and 6. Ooh, I like it. That's a fun wheel. Great idea. Let's just keep the wheel going for the rest of the game. Yeah. $10 super chat. We spin that wheel. 3rd and 6. Hey, Jerome Ford is back. 3rd down. DTR's pass on the slant is dropped by Jeudy. It would have been a 1st down, and it's dropped. Jeudy really struggled with drops early in his career with the Broncos. He's been rock solid the last couple of weeks. That is just dropped. Tim Michaels. I don't think so. 4th and 6, and the Browns have to punt. So 3 and out on the opening drive of the second half. Bojorquez with a good punt. Nope, not a good punt. It'll kind of take a Dolphins bounce and go out of bounds just shy of their own 30. So here comes Tyler Huntley. Who's going to score the first touchdown? We haven't had it yet. It's been 3 field goals. Let me know. For the 670 people tuned in, I'm sure you guys have been here for a while, so you've already heard this. But if you are just tuning in, here's what's at stake draft-wise. If the Browns win, they move up to the 8th pick in the draft. If the Browns lose, they move to the 3rd pick in the draft. So decide who you're rooting for with that information. For me, I don't think it's ever as simple as pick earlier, guaranteed success. We like to think that way, but if that was the case, I think the Browns would be a powerhouse based on how many times they picked early in the draft. It's not as simple as that. But we like to think it is when it comes to Week 17 and Week 18. So I'll look at anything as a positive, whether they win or lose. Given the choice, sure, I guess if I had to, if the Browns were down 1 and it was a 50-yard field goal to win it, I'd probably want him to miss it. But if they were to win it, I'm not going to be distraught over it. We like to think that in the NFL you can just tank, and then once you get that draft pick, all right, now we're good. Let's start winning now. Let's flip a switch. Really? If that was the case, then why do the Browns, the Giants, the Jets, the Jags keep picking in the top 5 year after year?
Petey, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Tim Michaels was answering to Kathy. He said, Kathy was asking who Bailey Zappi was, and Tim said, used to play for the Patriots, kicked the Browns' butt once.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about Bailey Zappi, not himself.
Yeah, well, I knew Tim Michaels didn't play quarterback because he's been a long-time viewer of the channel, and I think that would have come up at some point. From the abyss. So here's a question. Let's say the Browns do end up with the number 3 pick in the draft. Do we still take an offensive lineman, or do we target the best player available? That's a great question. Let's say that happens, and let's say it goes quarterback, 1 and 2. That leaves you with essentially the first pick of the draft, right? You get the first. That's when the draft starts if everyone knows the top 2 teams, whoever they may be, are taking quarterbacks. Best player available, and I think you then target offensive line in round 2 and round 3. I wouldn't be mad if they went Abdul Carter, if they went Travis Hunter. I'm not like a slam dunk yes on Travis Hunter because the reason why he's so popular as a prospect is because he plays both ways. If he doesn't play both ways, is he still that valuable to you? Maybe the answer is yes. And Huntley's pass is completed to Tyreek Hill. Right? It's kind of like if we're evaluating a baseball prospect and like this guy hits, this guy pitches. All right, cool. Are you going to use him for both? No, we're not going to pitch him. He'll just be a hitter. Okay, is there someone else who's better at hitting? Yeah, but that guy doesn't pitch. Okay, but you're not going to pitch this guy in the majors, so what does it matter? Oh, I guess you're right. You know what I mean? Like, if you plan on playing it both ways, then okay. Martin Emerson, by the way, just got flagged for a face mask, so add 15 more yards to this 13-yard gain. Jim, I'm on board with trading it, but remember, when it comes to trading, you have to find a trade partner. This is not a very good draft class. From a pure, round 1 talent, there's probably 12 guys who have a round 1 grade, and there will be everyone else who gets taken in round 1 because they have to be picked. 1st and 10 pass is caught. Huntley hooking up with a receiver for 14 yards. First down, Miami. I'll say this. Huntley, I think, has actually looked pretty good today. He's thrown the ball with authority. He's been accurate and on target. Change the poll to draft a quarterback in round 1. 1st and 10, snap to Huntley. It's a run for the Finns, and it's going to get stopped. Loss of 1 on the play. We're at 295 likes, 5 likes away from 300. Help us reach that number 300. It's 13-3 Vikings over the Packers, by the way, at halftime, which is great because that means Vikings-Lions is for the division and the 1 seed, and Vikings-Lions will be Sunday Night Football next week, guaranteed. 2nd and 11. Snap to Huntley. His pass is completed. Tyreek Hill, gain of 4. And 3rd down coming up next. I'm not a big fan of Jalen Milroe. I'm kind of a Debbie Downer because I don't really like this entire quarterback class. And when I kind of start my more heads-on Browns prospect search and draft evaluation, maybe I'll have some opinions change, but as of now, I'm just not looking at this quarterback class as an actual option to save the Browns quarterback position. 3rd and 8, snap to Huntley, throwing, caught, first down. Miami at the 12. Dolphins move inside the Prize Picks red zone. Tie man, do not become AFX with this Carson Beck BS. Next question. What do you say about the Browns taking a QB and a running back in the 3rd round? You want Skibo out of Arizona State? Scatabo? He says Skibo. I like that. Yeah. 1st and 10, Dolphins at the 13. Huntley takes the snap. It's a handoff. No, it's a keeper, and he's going to keep it himself. Huntley is going to run for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Tyler Huntley. 13-yard scramble. And the Dolphins are extending their lead. I'm just so dejected from the year. I don't care.
We're just watching a football game.
Yeah, we really are.
That's no cheering, no booing, just kind of watching.
It's moments like this where you kind of remind yourself whether or not I cheer for or against a team, it doesn't impact the team. So don't even put yourself through an emotional roller coaster. We have no impact. Let's just watch and listen. So the Dolphins' lead now is 12-3 with the extra point coming up next. Extra point is up, and it is good. Not going to lie, Andrew Berry picked DTR over Tyler Huntley. That was a choice, and it's not looking like a good choice. They were both on the Browns during training camp, and they cut Tyler Huntley.
Oh, I thought you meant drafted.
No.
I was like,
They are both on the roster, and Barry cut Huntley and kept DTR, Winston, and Watson. And that's not looking great at the moment. As for From the Abyss, I'd be on board with drafting a running back in round 2 if I were Cleveland. Maybe you acquire a second round draft pick if you trade back in round 1. I want to stockpile picks in this year or next year's draft. I want to spread my chips out a little bit. I don't want to put it all on black, all on red. I want to play in the middle a little bit. We're going to have some watch parties here at Chat Sports for the college football playoff games. So if you enjoy watch parties like this, subscribe to Chat Sports. Just put it in the YouTube search. Chat Sports will be the first thing that pops up. Join nearly 500,000 strong here in the Chat Sports family. Like I said, watch parties for all college football playoff games, including the quarterfinal games in a couple of days. So if you want to watch one for the Buckeyes-Ducks game, January 1st from Pasadena, but we'll have a watch party right here at Chat Sports. We're at 39,649 subscribers. We did cross 300 likes. So let's do a free raffle entry. Spam 1 if you want that first overall draft pick for the Browns, because that touchdown just made it a lot more feasible for the Browns to climb up to the first overall pick. Hit that like button if you haven't, but spam 1 in the chat right now. Spam 1. We're going to pick someone out of the chat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause it. Patrick Schuler. Congratulations, Patrick. I feel like some people, invalid argument. I feel like some people are looking for me to maybe be an active rooter against the Browns. I'll just remind you guys that there's so many cases of people thinking, oh, tanking, it's going to work out great for you. Did it work out great for, like, the Texans when they went from 1 to 2 because they won in Week 18 on a Hail Mary? Yeah, it did. They got C.J. Stroud. It's not a science, or, like, not even a science, but an absolute like we'd like to think it is. Invalid argument with a $20 super chat. Brown and Orange Club donation for whoever y'all think is the most deserving fan from the chat. Are we better off winning or losing today? I know the draft isn't a guarantee to get a winning team, but what's best for us as of today? I would say losing, because I think what really could help the Browns out is that they can get to a spot where they can trade that draft pick and at least give themselves some more darts to throw at the board. I would say lose, and you could trade that pick. 1st and 10, DTR throws it out of bounds. I'll tell you this right now. If I knew the Browns were going to take Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders with the 1st or 2nd pick, I'd want them to win, because that means they could take someone else who is better than those guys. Those guys are going to go top 5, and they are not top 5 prospects in this draft. They just play a very important position, which I get. But I think the Browns need to plug some other holes and not force a quarterback pick. The bridge path is not fun, but I would wait till 2026. Now, as for the first part, let me think about this, because there are a lot of worthy people for the Brown and Orange Club. 2nd and 10, a slide for DTR, a gain of 2. You know, I might make it the poll of who should get added. Let you guys kind of decide. Because I got a couple of people in mind that have been here with us from the start. Max, long time no see. Good to see you back, though. 3rd and 8 coming up for DTR in the offense. And a pre-snap whistle is going to stop a 3rd down play with a penalty down, false start on the offense. Armac dog. I'm so pissed off that the Browns cannot evaluate quarterbacks, but both Joe Flacco and Tyler Huntley are way better than DTR, and if we had one of those former QBs, our season would not have been so bad. You're not wrong, especially with the way Huntley's playing today. I will remind you, when Huntley played earlier, he was awful, so people have good and bad days. As for Flacco, I'm with you that they did it. They handled that wrong. I think they got rid of Joe because they wanted to protect Watson's feelings. While Flacco did have some great throws today, he had 2 very costly turnovers at the end of the game that kind of knocked Indianapolis. Oh, God, DTR. DTR, like on a roller coaster, as he was getting spun around, just launched it out of bounds. I think it will be. You're right. Or they might say he was down before that ball was thrown. Let's see the replay one more time. Yeah, it's going to be intentional grounding, which that's textbook intentional grounding. But yeah, Flacco had 2 bad turnovers at the end of the game. An interception. Now, the defense is what's to blame for the Colts today. They let Drew Lock look like Peyton Manning. No, Peyton Manning wouldn't score a rushing touchdown like that. They made him look like Lamar Jackson. But yeah, I feel and hear your frustration, Armac, and I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong for feeling this way. I echo a lot of this. I want to put some names in the live poll. Okay. Yeah, you're right, we will. Who? Punt is away on 4th and 24. Okay. I've got one name I wanted. Can you run through it really quickly on the other side of the screen, the club, so I can just see all the names for a moment? Yep, next one. Next one. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I got one more coming. Cannonball coming. No, I'll stick with those ones right there. Okay, it's a live poll. You guys vote on who should be added to the Brown and Orange Club thanks to invalid arguments. $20 super chat. I've got Kathy, Jacob Kistner, and Christopher Stofira. All 3 consistent members of the channel. All 3 very worthy of a addition to the club. Cool guy. I didn't mean to exclude you like that. I honestly just scrolled back in the chat, and I didn't see your name there. Right now, Kathy's got the slight lead. They're all great options. Quick shout out to our friends at Prize Picks while everyone votes. It's been a tough 36 votes, and poor Chris has yet to get one. So today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Right now, Kathy's got the slight lead in the votes. 2nd and 2 coming up for the Dolphins after an 8-yard run on first down. Huntley in the pistol takes the snap, and it's a handoff that goes for no gain. Make sure to subscribe if you are not a part of the channel and the Browns Report. Make sure to do so. It's a very big offseason coming up. Big draft talk. We've never had much draft discussion for the last 2 or 3 years because there hasn't been much to discuss. The earliest the Browns have picked in the draft since acquiring Deshaun Watson was 52nd overall when they got Mike Hall, right? So we finally have something really meaningful to talk about in April. Don't miss out. Subscribe today. Papa T, 12th man. Appreciate you, Papa T. 3rd and 2. Invalid argument. Tyler Huntley. You guys are filling my brain with your names. Myles Garrett sacking Huntley for his 2nd sack of the game. And Myles Garrett now, 14 sacks. He continues to be just so dominant. Huntley gets thrown down. They try to double team him. Doesn't work out. Dalton, as the Dolphins punted away on 4th and 9. I hope and pray Stefanski is fired. Where's Zappe? Well, we might see him right now. Let's just wait for a moment, Dalton, see if Bailey Zappe comes out. All right, we'll come back to this. Dalton, I think Kevin Stefanski is going to stay in Cleveland because he is going to demonstrate and show Jimmy Haslam that he has been a successful head coach with other quarterbacks, and it doesn't work with Deshaun Watson. So if you know you have a bad quarterback and a good coach, which Stefanski has a good claim to being a good coach with some successful seasons and 2 Coach of the Year awards, I think the obvious conclusion is don't change the coach, change the quarterback. Now, not everyone's on board with that, and I get that. I do. This team's 3 wins right now. It's hard to really defend the coach during that. But I don't think the Browns are going to be a very attractive destination for an head coach. So if it were up to me, I would keep Kevin Stefanski for 2025. Max Nikolenko, if Sam Darnold, and it's still DTR quarterback, by the way, and Mayfield's careers got resurrected, then it's the system, not the player who is bad. There is a ton of truth to, based on where you get drafted, you may or may not be successful. And it's not just because you as a player suck. The Jets are where careers go to die. The Browns are where careers go to die for a long time, and hopefully that's over now. But, yeah, I also think with Baker, we've seen that he needed a little bit of what he had in Carolina and with the Rams to save his career. I don't think he would have been the
chip on his shoulder.
DTR in 2nd and 7 runs it. I don't think Baker would be the quarterback he is today if he was in Cleveland this whole time. I really believe that. Now, that doesn't make it any better that the Browns moved on from him for Watson because Baker's playing better than Watson. But I think we can acknowledge that Baker, I don't think would be as good as he is now, but that doesn't mean that it was still right to move on from him. But we are forgetting that last season in Cleveland, he was calling out Stefanski in public. He was not the guy he is today, right? He was openly critical of play calling. Like, that's just not the setup of a franchise quarterback. That's the setup of a dysfunctional organization. 2nd and 7. Max, I appreciate your super. That super, by the way, guys, at $300. My boss made it a goal for us to get to 400. That's the internal goal. So if you enjoy the free content, would greatly appreciate any support. That way my Monday meeting with him, my days are all confused the holidays, goes a lot smoother. 2nd and 7, a run for Deontay Foreman, and it's a gain of 5. Joe G, still not owning up to the fact that y'all ran Baker out of town for nothing. I don't think that's true. Like, when you say for nothing. There were a lot of things that were blamed on both ends. Like, I think the OBJ divorce, Baker's not come out of that blameless. Baker criticizing Stefanski to the media about the way they protected him against TJ Watt, criticizing Stefanski with the play calling against the Lions after that win against David Blau. Like, there were, I mean, the way that, like, remember the Christmas game on COVID? Brian! 1st and 10. Patrick Schuler with a $10 super as DTR is tackled for a loss on an option play. 2nd and 14 from midfield. Patrick Garrett has been wonderful again this year. 13 sacks. I think he's at 14. He had 12 coming into today. He's got 2 so far. Myles Garrett, 14 sack campaign, and it feels like it's like a no big deal season for him, right? It doesn't even feel like it's one of Garrett's best years, but he's just that great. He's going to be this good for a while, too. Patrick, thank you for the super. We owe some wheel spins for everyone. We'll catch up on all those at the next TV timeout. And then Brian with a 50 as DTR is strip sacked, recovered by the Dolphins. Dolphins take over, DTR strip sack on 2nd and long. Miami ball at the Cleveland 45. This is a strip sack, and it's Dolphins football. Poor Brian. Just get the moment deflated. Well, we can be excited or be sad about it. I would choose to be somewhat excited about the fact that the Browns are that much closer to the first overall pick, which I desperately want them to trade to the Giants or the Raiders, who are quarterback-needy teams. And not that the Browns aren't quarterback-needy teams, but I don't think this is the draft class to fix your quarterback problems. If another team does, cool. Take advantage of that. I personally don't. Fire everyone. Our players today suck. Also, put me in the Brown and Orange Club. I donate every video. Brian, you're in right now. We're going to add Brian. Let's also add Kathy. Kathy's got a good majority of the votes so far. So Kathy and Brian are going to get added. Reed will take a moment to do that. But thank you so much, Brian. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Brian. Here we go. Woof, woof. Thank you so much, Brian. John Menifee. I feel like I'm going to a high school reunion just because of all the usual suspects coming out for Week 17. John, what's good? Before we get the Brown and Orange Club updated, we do owe some wheel spins. Let's go in chronological order. Yep. So this first one's for invalid argument. Invalid argument for that $20 super chat. $10 super chat, we spin the wheel. And it is one entry. So an extra one for invalid argument. We're also $40 away from our goal of $400 in super chat. So I really appreciate everyone that's helped contribute and donate to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Armac dog. For the dog. Ooh, I think it's 5. 5 entries for Armac. And we got the next one coming up for Patrick Schuler. Patrick, this wheel spin's for you, amigo. The Dolphins fans spam in the chat. No one is rooting against you, dude. Oh, Joel. Well, that's nightmare fuel. Patrick. Sorry, buddy. Brian Petticord. Brian. Spin again. John Menifee is back. John. But first, Brian. Brian, spin again.
Ghostface got that halftime, same thing, twice.
Wow. A quick throw to Tyreek Hill on 1st and 10, gain of 5. Brian, your third spin.
There's no way.
That's exactly what happened to Ghostface.
It's 2.
He got 2 after.
That is freaky.
Weird.
That is very weird. I love this. Running on empty. Dorian Tank Robinson. I'm just mad I didn't think of that myself because that's a great nickname. Second and 4. And a run up the gut is stopped by who? Myles Garrett. Who else? Third down coming up. John Menifee, thank you for your super chat. Getting us that much closer to our goal of 400. Vikings pulling away from the Packers. It's 20-3 Minnesota. John Menifee, my guy. I love my Brownies, but damn, this season is rough. All the way from the BX. Happy New Year to the Browns fam. I wish everyone much something in 2025. 3rd and 5, and Tyler Huntley is going to try and run for the first down. He'll be stopped right near the marker. I wish everyone much thumbs up, much love, we'll say, in 2025. John, thank you for your support of the channel and for your kind words. And go Brownies. I, too, can't wait for the season to be done. We have just 5 more quarters to go through. Oh, yeah. Get this witch number off of the screen. Someone subscribe. Get us to 67. Much luck. Okay, that makes sense, John. 4th and 1, and the Dolphins are going to keep their offense on the field. I think I saw a challenge flag get thrown. Yeah, McDaniels is going to challenge the 3rd and 5 run. If you were a coach, how aggressive would your challenge flag throw be? Would you be I kind of drop something? That's like the nonchalant, like, hey, I'm just going to put this down on the ground. I'd fucking launch that thing. I'd get a crow hop into it. I'd make it a game to see how far I can throw it as like a personal best. Oh my gosh! Lawrence with a $100 super chat! Lawrence! Let's go! Lawrence from the top rope! First timer! Their first ever! And it's 100 bomb! Newbie, go Vols! Lawrence, go Vols! It was not a successful mission for me to Columbus, but I appreciate the support. Go Vols! Buckeyes fans have been talking shit as they should to me all week, but this might have just made my day. Lawrence, go Vols indeed! Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Lawrence. Good work. That was just mind reading right there. That might be the new thing. Let's do that. We're going to put that in stone. Every super chat for the rest of the game, we're doing that new song. You know what? I'll make one amendment to it. It's Brownies, name, then Brownies. Like a little sandwich. Like the first verse is, here we go, Brownies. Then, here we go, Lawrence. Then, here we go, Brownies. Right on cue, Ja'Kai. The Dolphins are challenging, by the way. I don't know if that got conveyed during all this. But, Lawrence, thank you for the super. And we're going to toss you into a episode of the channel on Monday, Tuesday. It's a little weird this week. I just don't remember my schedule. I'm off New Year's Day. So, Monday or Tuesday. Turn your notifications on Indeed. That's a great point by Reed. That way you can see the episode that we're going to include you in. Lawrence, thank you, and go Vols. Got number 1 team in basketball, number 1 team in football, well, baseball. Call stands. Dolphins lose the challenge. I'll just say this. Only one school made the College World Series, made the Elite Eight, and made the college football playoff in the last 12 months. Tennessee Volunteers. Go Vols. Ja'Kai Johnson. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Ja'Kai. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Thank you, Ja'Kai. It's going to be 4th and 1 for Miami. They're going to keep the offense on the field. From the Cleveland 35, Huntley under center. Takes the snap, pitch left. Uh-oh. Nowhere to go. Browns defense comes up with a tackle for loss on 4th and inches, and Cleveland's offense will take over around their own 38. If you're the Dolphins, just kick the field goal. Like, you're not in a shootout, right? Make it a 13-point game. Make it 16-3. You have to win this game for your playoff hopes. You're not trying to steal one. You're not playing a juggernaut where you feel like the Chiefs could wake up in the 4th quarter. You're playing Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Take the points and make it that much more difficult for the Browns to stage a comeback. He's him, celebrating our 5-year anniversary watching the game with my girlfriend. We found out this week we're expecting our first baby. What? Amy, I think he's just pulling my leg here. Amy, will you marry me? If this truly is how you propose to Amy, I'm very glad I can be an efficient for this. But Amy, the ball's in your court. He's him, is asking for your hand in marriage. And congratulations on this child. I'm still struggling to believe this, but if it's true, I don't want to get in the way of true love. I think we need I'm going to require a response from Amy. But it can't be from he's him. I'm going to need Amy's YouTube channel to respond. 1st and 10 for the Browns. It's still Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Snap to DTR. He'll look to pass. Dumps it off. It's dropped. I think it's a live football. Oh, I don't know. I think it is. They're going to keep whistling it dead. That looked more backwards than the one they called a lateral earlier that was a forward pass. Watch this. I think the Dolphins might have been cheated. Oh. I think it was a backwards pass. I think it's at least a lateral. It's not a forward pass.
Clear recovery from Dolphins too.
Nah, that ain't. But the camera angle is what does it. You have to have one on the line. They're going to call it incomplete. 2nd and 10. Oh. I think we're going to get another challenge. Another challenge from Miami that this is not a forward pass. He's him. Thank you for the super. We got another super chat coming in from, are they going to challenge it? Yeah. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go. He's him. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. And Chubbs with a $2 response. We got X Set Hex. It is my birthday today. I was wondering if you could shout me out. It would mean the world to me. Happy birthday to X Set. HBD. Chubbs, yes, I love you, honey. That was beautiful. I don't think this is Amy, but we'll take it. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Chubbs. Here we go. Woo, woo. I think just 2.
Yeah.
I think so.
I like it.
Yeah. A little, short and sweet.
Beth said, "Good luck, Amy."
Okay, can you add Kathy and Lawrence and Brian all to the Brown and Orange Club? I know it takes like a few minutes, so just get after that. I'll hold on the fort.
Time me.
Call in the field stands. The Dolphins have lost their challenge for the rest of the game and are down to 1 timeout. Do you want the Browns to win? We got a handful of supers flying in right now. We'll catch up on these supers in just a second. First, we have 2nd and 10. Reed's going to take care of the Brown and Orange Club update. Snap. Handoff, run for Pierre Strong. First down, run and more. Strong, gain of 20 on 2nd and 10. Nice run by Pierre. Posick with a nice block. Your center pulling, taking care of a free edge rusher. 1st and 10, Cleveland at the Miami 31-yard line. It's a throw to no one. He wanted Strong, but he just overthrew him. 2nd and 10. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you want Ken Dorsey to come back as the offensive coordinator? The offense, we're adding Brian Petticord. Do you need the photo links for these guys? Lawrence and Kathy. Kathy's giving baby names to he's him. That's how wonderful Kathy is. 2nd and 10, snap to DTR. His pass is caught by Judy, gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down with under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Wind and a combination, it looks like, of snow and rain coming down. It's really hard to differentiate. I think it's more rain than snow. Yeah, I don't think it's snow. It's just raining. Just windy and rainy right now. 3rd and 4 from the 26. DTR throwing, and it's caught. Jerry Jeudy, 1st down. He gets about 9 yards on 3rd and 4, and the drive stays alive for Cleveland. We'll probably get 1 or 2 more plays off before the end of the 3rd quarter. DTR took a big hit on that, by the way. 1st and 10 inside the Prize Picks red zone from the 17. Dorian Thompson-Robinson takes the snap, throws it to Jeudy, and he is swallowed up. No gain on the play. He gets thrown down at the end. And a flag comes. They're going to say unnecessary roughness. They had blown the play dead. I think this is a soft call. This should not be a penalty. This is just football. It's a little bit late, but like he starts the art of the tackle. And they want... I think that's a soft call. Oh my gosh! Jim Miro! Is he in the Brown and Orange Club? I think he is. If not, he's about to get added right now. We'll catch up on all the supers in just a moment. But Jim, thank you. Let's go, Brownies. So 1st and goal is coming up after this penalty by the Dolphins. Jim. I don't know how Jim isn't. First and goal for the Browns. The Dolphins have just shot themselves in the foot with really starting by going for it on 4th and inches. Just kicked the field goal at 16-3. You got a 2-touchdown lead against Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Tank Robinson. DTR from the 9. Hands it off. Foreman rushing with it. Gain of 5. 2nd and goal inside the 5 up next. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. So 45 minutes in, it's 13-3 bad guys, or you could say good guys, depending on if you want the Browns to win or lose. But they are driving Cleveland inside the 5, 2nd and goal when we start the 4th quarter. Okay. Jim, I promise we'll get you a super chat in just a moment. Reed is just updating the Brown and Orange Club to add yourself to it. Okay, we ready? So you want to show the Brown and Orange Club or Super Chats first? Okay. Matt, Matt, a Steelers fan, by the way, is telling us what a real Browns fan is. If you're rooting for the Dolphins, you're a real Browns fan. Again, it always sounds super fun and simple to tank. If it works so well, then why are the Jets, the Jags, the Giants, and the Browns, who consistently pick top 5, always picking top 5? I'm not in the mindset of, like, tanking is this great cure. It's hard to shake that losing DNA, and I don't think it's a guarantee that some guy in the draft is going to come in here and is going to turn it all around. Maybe. Like, there are, plenty of examples of that happening. Peyton Manning, right? Imagine if the Colts didn't get the first overall pick, and there's plenty of examples for or against it. But that's the point. There are examples on both sides. But when we talk about it, there's only examples for, never against. John Menifee, wow. I love Latinas and the Browns. I'm pulling for my duck in the race later. Sorry, the money's getting in the way. Have been having some close ones last couple of weeks. Y'all seen the drones. Covered a lot of topics here, John. First, from your dating profile preferences to drones in New Jersey. I'm not in New Jersey, so I've not seen the drones. I'm a full believer that we are not being told the truth on that subject, though. John, thank you for your super. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, John. Here we go. Woo, woo. Joshua Miller. If we get the first pick, should we draft Shedeur Sanders just to pull the Giants and Raiders in a bidding war and see what we can get for him? Whoa, you're talking like post-draft trade, like NBA kind of style. I don't hate that idea. Now, we've seen some players get selected by teams they refuse to play for. Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning, Bo Jackson, John Elway. I'm somewhat in the belief of the value drops once you drive it off the lot. So I try to get a trade done before the draft, because if you trade them after the draft, you're not going to get anything for the upcoming season because the draft's over, so you don't get any picks. I mean, maybe you can get some picks in round 2 or round 3, but you don't get any round 1 picks that year. But I don't hate the idea. It's a creative one for sure. Second and goal. DTR from the 4-yard line takes the snap. Play action, rolling to his left. He is going to throw it out the back of the end zone. Third and goal. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Joshua. Here we go. Woo, woo. And then Jim Miro, a $53 super chat and 95 cents. Odd numbers for an odd fan base. Let's go, Garrett. Easiest 14 sack season ever. Question: are the Titans looking for a quarterback? Yeah, it's definitely not Will Levis. They benched him. I think they might go the veteran route, though. But maybe that changes. They fall in love with someone in the draft. Third and goal, handoff, Deontay Foreman. He is going to be stopped. Short, fourth and goal from the 3. I don't really have a good feel as to what the Titans' plan is. I don't think they have a good GM in Rand Carthon. I don't think they upgraded the head coaching position by firing Vrabel for Brian Callahan. Maybe they go quarterback. Maybe they draft Shedeur or Cam Ward. I guess I can kind of picture Cam Ward being a Titan. I wish I had a better answer for you, Jim, but the Titans are in a weird spot. Fourth and goal, DTR and the offense stay on the field. They're going to go for it from the 3-yard line. Dorian Thompson-Robinson takes the snap, throwing on the slant. It's broken up, incomplete. No flags, and it's going to be turnover on downs. I respect the decision to go for it. You're down 10. You have a backup in. Well, I guess he's your starter now, but you know what I mean. You probably weren't going to get that close to the red zone again. If you can get within 3 points, do it. Jalen Ramsey with just a nice play, maybe some early contact, but that's definitely a flag. I'm not mad they did not throw. Jim, thank you for your super. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Jim. Here we go. Woo, woo. Let's peek at the updated Brown and Orange Club, Mr. Reed. Okay, sweet. Oh, that's awful. I have this. Jeremy just made a joke. I hope it's a joke that we got veggie pizza. I had this reoccurring, I would say nightmare because it happened. 6th grade football, this pizza company near where we practice came out with some free pizzas after practice to kind of, market their business a little bit. They brought veggie pizzas. I was never more disappointed in my life than after football practice seeing veggie pizza waiting us.
Whoever the marketing director is there,
Yeah. So, the updated Brown and Orange Club, Brian Petticord, Lawrence Burkett, Kathy Sidlecki, and Jim Miro. We'll look at the rest of the club, but this is the latest members being added. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I really cannot express my gratitude enough for everyone that's been a part of the club or been a part of our watch parties for watching this miserable year with me from start to finish. I wish I could shake and hug every single one of you right now. But it's been a year to forget, but I'm glad that we at least experienced it together. Declan Praz, the Browns do not get the number 1 pick if they lose. There's a chance I'm misreading the entire thing, but no. The tiebreaker for the draft is strength of schedule, and the Browns would not have the tiebreaker to surpass the 3-13 Patriots. They would pick number 3, though. It is pouring in Cleveland. I just pray both teams run the football. Another super chat from Jim. As Miami has 1st and 10 at their own 5 and a run gets nothing. Jim Miro! Patriots getting the number 1 is the best case scenario. They have their QB. Then we might have choice between the best 2 QBs available. Jim, I just don't agree with this. 1, I don't want the Browns to take Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. 2, I don't think Deion will let Shedeur Sanders come to Cleveland. 3, I don't want Cam Ward top 5. There are not bigger issues to solve, but he is not the solution to the Browns' problems. He's just going to sink, I think, in Cleveland. 3 or 4, wherever I'm at right now, is Huntley's pass is dropped. Would have been a first down. If the Patriots get the 1st overall draft pick, they are going to trade it away. They've got Drake May. No doubt in my mind they will trade that pick. Now that's one less team the Browns could trade with that might be moving up for Cleveland's spot to take a quarterback. So, Jim, while I do appreciate all of your support, I don't agree with this one right here. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Oof, oof. Here we go, Jim. Here we go. Oof, oof. 3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. From their own 4. Snap to Huntley. Handoff. And a run on 3rd and 10 gets 3. And the Dolphins are going to punt it back to Cleveland with the Browns trailing by 10 in an absolute rainstorm in Cleveland. Joshua Miller. Punt is, it's a Shankopotamus. Flag is thrown. It's going to go out of bounds around the 50. So good field position for DTR. Joshua Miller. Draft Sanders number 1 and trade during the draft. My issue with this thinking, Josh, is if the Browns draft him and the other teams know false start or out of bounds on the kicking team by the Dolphins. So the Browns get some extra yardage added on to the end of the punt. Josh, here's my beef with this. If Deion makes it public, Shedeur will not play for Cleveland, and the Browns take him with the intent to trade him, they don't have much leverage. They're going to be so desperate to trade him, they probably won't get a great return because what team is going to give them a king's ransom, which the Browns would want, when they know, well, he's not playing for you. Deion said so. So you have to trade him. Trade the pick. Don't try and get tricky like this. 1st and 10, a run for Cleveland starting at the Dolphins' 45-yard line. Maggie, I can't watch the game. Is Ford playing? Ford got hurt earlier, came back, and I haven't seen him since, but maybe I've just missed him. Vikings are kind of taking care of business against the Packers, 27-10, late in the third quarter. Yeah, it's Deontay Foreman in the backfield. On 2nd and 8, it's a pass for DTR. Flag is thrown. It's caught. And it's Whiteheart. Who had the super chat? Was it Ken G who predicted a Whiteheart touchdown? We're still waiting for our first Browns touchdown, so get your predictions in. Who scores the first touchdown for the Browns? Illegal motion by Jerry Jeudy. I don't think they really understand the rules, and I think they just get lucky sometimes that they happen to not break the rules. He doesn't get set. It's not Canadian football. You can't be moving forward when the ball is snapped.
You can
move laterally.
Yeah,
but if you start, but you can't round it out and start like inching forward because you're still moving. That might be more on the quarterback. You got to wait for Jeudy to get set. Snap to DTR, and he gets hit as he throws it away. Incomplete. Oh, we have intentional grounding on DTR. Or roughing the passer. We'll see. Jim Miro. I think Kiki is absolutely beautiful. It's it's intentional grounding. Go Browns. We might have a relationship organically come out of our chat. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Jim. Here we go. Woof, woof. Flag is for the intentional grounding, so back it all up. Ghostface! I know you were not fond with the QBs in this draft class, but if you had to pick one in round 3 or 4, who would it be? Good question, Ghostface. It would have been Drew Aller, but he's going back to Penn State, so cross him off. 3rd and 27 for DTR. His pass is caught. Gain of about 7. 4th down. Yeah, the CBS broadcast. You know what this is right here, I believe? This is what I did. I think this might be it. Could be wrong. But back in my old high school broadcasting days, I would bring a mini camera and point it at the gym clock and then just crop it down and put it on my little scoreboard bug. Sometimes they have to do that. You'll see that more in like college sports. If you're like, why does the clock look a little fuzzy or janky? It's literally a camera pointing at the gym clock. I don't think that's the case here. That's usually the backup if the clock stops working for the broadcast. And strong punt return for the Dolphins with a flag thrown out to the 32-yard line. Ghostface, to answer your question, though, 2 names come to mind right now. Dylan Gabriel and Kyle McCord. If we're talking round 3 or round 4, I'm okay with taking a shot in the dark at those 2 guys a little bit later in the draft-ish, right? Middle of the draft, we'll call it. Those would be the 2 names I'd offer up. McCord and Gabriel. Yeah, we got some wheel spins coming up for sure.
Wait, did we do Lawrence? We did Lawrence, right?
No, we did not do Lawrence. We have Lawrence and Jim.
Well, let's talk about Prize.
Yeah, quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash during Pickmas. Prize Picks now offers Venmo and MasterCard for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this season. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. We're closing in on 39,700 subscribers. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're going to talk all about the draft the next couple of weeks and months, and I don't want you to miss out. So hit that sub button today. All right, let's do some wheel spins real quickly right now before I let it get too far. Ooh, Jeff Dunham with Peanut. Who remembers Jeff Dunham? He was my first favorite comedian. Spin that wheel. This first one is for Lawrence. For Lawrence. 8 extra entries for Lawrence. Thank you again, Lawrence, and go Vols. Appreciate you. Next one is for Jim Miro. Jim getting 10 entries. $10 super chat to spin the wheel. The raffle item, which will be at the 2-minute warning, is an autographed Jerry Jeudy football. A pitch to the right for the Dolphins goes nowhere. You know, I feel like maybe I'm completely just out of touch here. The Dolphins' path to the postseason isn't really all that crazy. It's win today, which they are doing, beat the Jets next week, who just got curb stomped by the Bills, and then this is where it gets a little tough. You need the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. The Chiefs are going to be resting their starters. But I don't think Carson Wentz is incapable of winning a game. Remember when the Bengals helped the Bills get to the postseason by beating the Ravens? It happens. 2nd and 10, Huntley's going to tuck it and run. Huntley steps out of bounds, gets first down. Jim Miro, how can Dion have a choice where his son goes? The draft is the draft. Isn't that tampering or something? His strong-arming is bullshit. I hear that. I wouldn't say it's tampering. He will just inform teams, if you select my son, he will not play for you. That's happened. John Elway, drafted by the Colts. So I'm not playing here. Traded to the Broncos. Eli Manning, drafted by the Chargers on draft night. Traded for Phillip Rivers to the Chargers. Bo Jackson, drafted by the Buccaneers. Said, I'm not playing here. You guys ruined my college eligibility. Goes to the Raiders. 1st and 10, a pass was completed as we had Huntley being swung around and gets the ball at the last moment. A completion for a few yards. Oh, my God. She's her. I said no to marriage, and I'm not keeping the baby. Well, this just went downhill. 2nd and 7, nothing for... Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go. She's her. Here we go. Woof, woof. I think Garrett just came up with a sneaky sack. I might have just missed it. I thought Huntley kind of got back to the line. They're going to call it a 1-yard loss, so it's going to be a sack. I thought Huntley got back to the line of scrimmage, but no, it's a 1-yard sack. It's sack number 3 of the night for Myles Garrett. He now has 15 sacks on the season. John Menifee! Let's take a spin. That Sanders narrative is crazy. Do we really need some more prima donnas in brown and orange? Hard pass. Happy New Year's. As Huntley slips out of a tackle. Big run on 3rd and 8. Oh, gosh. Slide, dude. He gets about 20 yards with his legs, and it's a first down for Miami. John will spin that wheel, and there's a lot to like about Shedor's game. There's also a lot to be fairly critical of. He doesn't have extreme mobility when it comes to he's a pocket passer. Don't think of it because Deion's his dad. He's got to be this athletic freak. No. He's a pocket passer, and he has some accuracy issues. He's made some great big plays, but he also misses on some pretty easy plays. Handoff on 1st and 10 is bottled up. No gain on the play. John, thank you for the super. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, John. Here we go. Woof, woof. John Menifee. Thank you, John. There are 569 in supers. So thank you to everyone that supported and donated to the channel. This would not be possible without your guys' support. It really wouldn't. 2nd and 12. Play action as Huntley is sacked. That's Thomas. That's Charlie Thomas, I believe. First sack of his career. Good for him. Good for him. He'll always have that. An NFL sack. Third and 17 now for Miami. Oh. For anyone that just tuned in, by the way, here are the draft pick implications. If the Browns lose, they will hold the 3rd overall pick. If the Browns win, they go up to number 8 in the draft. Flag thrown. It's going to be a hold. Let's do a wheel spin before we forget. We owe one for John Menifee. Holding on the Dolphins will wipe away. Penalties declined, actually. Patrick Paul, I think that's the rookie out of Houston. He's working on Myles Garrett. That's a miserable assignment, and he clearly holds him. If he doesn't, Huntley's probably going to be drinking out of a straw. 4th and 11 for the Dolphins. They will punt. Does someone keep track of holding penalties drawn? Because Myles Garrett should lead the NFL in that, but they never call holding. Except for that. Spin it for John. Eight entries for John Menifee. We're going to do that Jerry Jeudy autograph football at the 2-minute warning. Prochet watches that punt take a friendly bounce for the Dolphins. It'll be down at the 2-yard line. So it'll be a 98-yard field for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, trailing by 10. If we even get DTR. I don't really think there's much to gain by playing Bailey Zappi, but maybe they're just done with DTR. I don't know. I'll tell you this. It can't be Jameis. Jameis is the emergency quarterback. He can only come into the game if the first 2 quarterbacks are injured and ruled out. He's him with a super. Yep, that's the question here. Do you? What position do you want the Browns to draft first? For me, it's the lazy answer of best player available. And I think that best player could be Travis Hunter, which would be pretty electric. I just kind of wonder if Travis Hunter, this is a bad comp. Remember Jabril Peppers at Michigan? He did everything. But then when he got to the NFL, the Browns only really used him as a safety. And that was a misuse by the Browns. But that's what made Pepper so fun at Michigan, was he was everywhere, right? He played offense, he played defense, he was on special teams. But then when we got to the NFL, he was pretty much just a safety. And it's like, well, if he's just one in the NFL, is he as desirable? And that's my fear with Travis Hunter. If he just plays one, if you play on both sides and he plays both sides well, it's a great pick. 2nd and 10, snap to DTR. His pass is caught. Jerry Jeudy, yards after the catch, will be good enough for a first down. I think it'll be close to the marker. He's him. She said yes, and we name Matt or Pete if it's a what if it's a girl? Madeline or Patricia? Those seem like comparable opposites of those two options. Don't do Matt. Fun fact about me, I'm not a Matt guy. I never go by Matt. It's Matthew or Petey. I feel like Matt's just like a sound. Matt. It's not a name. Matthew. Got some syllables to it. Got some vowels and letters. Matt. Oh, damn indeed. 1st and 10. Snap to DTR. Looking, throwing, and it's incomplete. The Raiders had the first overall pick not long ago. They now have 4 wins, and they may be picking closer to 10 than 1. Oh, I didn't realize Jordan Poyer was still in the Dolphins. Browns legend. I think of him as a Bill, though. 2nd and 10.
When you hear Jalen Ramsey, what do you think?
Great question. I think Rams.
Really?
Yeah, I know the Jags are out there, but
I think Jags. Well, actually, I think Florida State. But.
I think Rams. 2nd and 10 for DTR. Screen to who is right. There were linemen there, and I think the running back might have gone to the left, and the lineman went to the right. Whoa! We just got a flashback to Jordan Poyer getting crushed in 2016. I forgot all about that. I don't know why CBS had to bring that one up, but geez. Jim Miro making a case for the MVP of today's watch party. It's either him or Lawrence. I think Jim's in the driver's seat, though. Flag on the offense, intentional grounding. I think that's his 3rd intentional grounding. That's got to be a single game record. This one I don't think is on DTR. I think it's on the running back, but it's still intentional grounding. Yeah, Pierre Strong goes the wrong way. The screen's to the right. He goes to the left. It's grounding. He's in the pocket. There's no receiver in the area, and it doesn't get to the line of scrimmage. We have Miles and a decent secondary. Judy and Tillman, our tight ends, are better than average. Should we shake things up and draft the nastiest running back to replace Chubb? You can't draft Ashton Genty top 3. And it's not because I don't like drafting running backs. I just think drafting running backs is a luxury. As like paying running backs is a luxury. You can do it, but that better be the last piece of the puzzle, not the first piece. There are other pieces to fill. Offensive line, I think defense, like a second pass rusher opposite of Myles Garrett. You say the secondary is decent. It hasn't played decent this year. The only guy that's been decent in the secondary has been Denzel Ward. I would try and maybe add another corner, like maybe Travis Hunter, maybe Will Johnson, or Abdul Carter, or add to the offensive line. Or ideally, trade back and get all those guys, or get some of those guys. 4th and 5, the Browns offense is going to stay on the field. Snap to Dorian Thompson-Robinson. His pass is caught, and it's not going to go anywhere. Mike Woods is tackled for 1-yard gain, and Dolphins are going to take over deep into Cleveland territory. Let's spin the wheel, and then let's do the race, because this game is over now. Yeah, Dolphins leading by 10 just take over, I think, inside the Browns' red zone. So that's ball game. Browns just got the 3rd overall pick of the draft. Browns just got the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. First and 10. Spin the wheel. Oh, we have 2 wheel spins. One for Jim, one for John. Let's spin the first one for Jim real quick, and then we'll do John's wheel spin. Browns are starting to use their timeouts. I'm going to check out of this game. Ghostface! I'm sorry, Jim. The very rare no entries. Yeah, but you still get your raffle entries for just the Super Chat in general. Next one for John Menifee. John. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, John. Double no entries. Yeah, you get the entries for the Super Chat, but just no extra entries tacked on. And Ghostface is up next. Dolphins have 2nd and 9 to the 20-yard line. Huntley is going to throw, and it's caught by Tyreek Hill. He'll get the first down and more. Hill inside the 10, down to the 6. Browns don't call time. It's pouring rain. You're down 10 with 4 minutes to go. And Kevin Stefanski is calling timeouts and making everyone sit in the rain. Oh my goodness is right.
Oh, oh my God.
That might be.
Oh my God.
Lawrence with a $100 super chat. Lawrence definitely pulling away as the MVP of today's watch party. Unbelievable performance by a rookie to the channel. Lawrence, go Browns, go Vols, go Lawrence. Unreal. Out of nowhere. Lawrence! I'm pissed that Stefanski's calling timeouts right now and making us wait even longer for this game to end. But Lawrence putting some love and some life in the chat. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Lawrence. Here we go. Woo, woo. We got some wheel spins. Let's go. We just did the first two. It was Jim, John. Now we have Ghostface. This is for Ghostface. Ghostface is going to get, I think, one entry. And it's a touchdown for Jonnu Smith. Miami, 20-3, and the Browns have definitely lost this game now. Good. I know John is also emerging as like a sleeper for the MVP. So now next up is Lawrence indeed. Lawrence! Thank you! Go Brownies and go Vols, Lawrence! Oh, spin again. Lawrence! Can't stop saying the name. Two entries for Lawrence. 2 extra entries, that is. And then Patrick Schuler, give me a spin for my 94-year-old dad. We'll get all these supers on screen for you in just a moment. Sup? Oh, I'm so... No, spin it again. I'm going to break my own rules. I'm just going to use my, executive power and say spin it again for a 94-year-old dad. Well, this is like a ball don't lie kind of situation here. Spin again. This is the last spin no matter what, though. That. Oh, my gosh. Patrick Schuler. This wheel is more exciting than the Browns. The Browns aren't going to score a touchdown today. Who was it? Who said they're not going to score a touchdown? Someone said that. I hope that person's still watching right now. All right, we got John and then Sup. Okay, John, then Sup. Then we're going to go through all the supers. Yeah. John Menifee. Spin again. 8 entries for John Menifee. Ghostface, we're just doing one spin for a $10 super chat or more. Because if I prorated it like that, I have to spend 10 times for a $100 super chat. And then we're just sitting here spinning the wheel endlessly all day. All right, we're all caught up on spins. Let's just. Pardon? Oh, Sup. I'm so sorry, Sup. That's right. I'm sorry, Sup. This one's for Sup. Spin again. Yeah, spin again. If that one was the 10 entry spot. Oh. 10 entries. Now we're caught up in the spins. We're going to catch up on the super chats. And then we're going to do the race. Last call, $5 super chat or more to get added to the Jerry Jeudy signed football raffle. DTR still in at quarterback, trailing by 17 with 3 minutes to go. The Browns have no timeouts, and Akins hauls in a quick pass. I'd like for the Browns to score a touchdown. I don't really want the Browns to have like that sad stat of like they didn't score a touchdown. I don't think it's for the first time. I just don't want that sad stat. Score a garbage touchdown. It's not going to change the discussion or discourse of the game, but it'll make it for a less sad stat that the Browns didn't score at home. So, let's catch up on supers here. We have to go back to John Menifee's $20 super chat. Ooh, tight throw. We had that one, this one. John, let's catch up on supers. If we ever lose Miles, I swear I'm going to have a panic attack, cuzzo. Miles is the most true Cleveland Brown of all time, and I've never seen someone double team so much. Give that man whatever he wants till he retires. I don't think the Browns are going to trade Myles Garrett. I understand his comments are a little bit unsettling, and I agree. I don't want him traded, for the record. I'm fully against trading Myles Garrett. I think at the very least, he's just going to get a contract extension or a raise. And that's unusual, but right now he makes $9 million less than Nick Bosa of the 49ers. Maybe that $9 million gets cut down to $5 million. And Myles Garrett goes from making $25 million to $30 million. $5 million extra dollars, and he doesn't want to trade anymore. That might be the outcome. John, thank you for the super. Pierre Strong Jr. is injured on the play, and it looks to be a bit of a concerning injury. Kevin Stefanski's walking out to check on number 20. Ghostface, first round, third pick, here we come. Woof, woof, spin that wheel. Oh, first off, for John, here we go, Brownies, here we go. Woof, woof, here we go, John, here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Ghostface. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I didn't know who was next.
The one on screen.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Ghostface. Here we go. Woof, woof. Do I have to print out the lyrics for you? Sup? What does a Cleveland do? It sounds like a joke. What does Cleveland do now? Well, short term, they likely lose the last game of the season, and they finish the top 3 draft pick. Long term, I would like for them to trade that top 3 pick if they pick 1 or 2 to a quarterback-needy team and acquire more draft capital because they have some needs at the offensive line. They have some needs at pass rusher. They have needs in the secondary. They have needs at running back. They kind of needs a tight end low-key. It's like Justin Njoku. Akins was good this year. Last year of his contract, maybe they bring it back, maybe they don't. Really good tight end class, really good running back class. I'd like to see the Browns kind of have some extra picks to add some depth at those positions. So, Sup, I'll give you a more long-winded response, though, for your next super when you have a little bit more of a specific question, I know. Sup, here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Sup. Here we go. I don't know.
You got to go,
That was tough to just do Sup and, like, continue the beat, though. Here we go, Sup.
Here we go.
That's why I was not in the choir for long. 2-minute warning. Jim Miro, I don't get it. We had the same defense we had last year, and we were only giving up 10 points a game. What gives? What gives is, if you have watched our channel for a while, I talked about this for a different AFC North team, the Steelers, about how defenses can dramatically change from year to year. It's because sometimes there's a little bit of luck incorporated. Maybe a fumble bounces into your arms and not into the opposing team's arms, and it's a takeaway, and the offense goes off the field, right? Offense is a little bit more consistent year to year. Defense, I agree. The changes is just a decline from Newsome and especially Martin Emerson. And that, I think, is where the root of the problem started, and the lack of takeaways. They only had one interception for the longest time this season. They were dropping picks, and opposing team wasn't putting the ball in harm's way. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Jim. Here we go. Woof, woof. Next one. Lawrence. No one puts Lawrence in the corner. Everyone spam LB in the chat for Lawrence Burkett. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Lawrence. Here we go. Woof, woof. Lawrence, thank you so much again for the super. Go Vols, you and me. Let's go Brownies. Patrick Schuler, give me a spin for my 94-year-old dad. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Patrick. Here we go. Woof, woof. All right, I'm going to grandfather in. The other people have already super chatted, so we're not singing for the rest of the time here. Let's go gambling. I cannot accept a no entry spin. LOL. Go Browns. John, thank you for the super. Go Brownies. Sup? What does Cleveland do this offseason? Well, like we talked about just a moment ago, but just to add more to it, I think they do the following. Ready? From the quarterback position, you sign a veteran. Possibly Kirk Cousins, maybe Aaron Rodgers. I don't think either quarterback's going to be all that good, but maybe 1 year removed from that Achilles injury, even more, they could have a dramatic turnaround. Maybe. That's really all you have to bank on. If it's not them, I wouldn't hate Jacoby Brissett. I doubt it's going to be Jameis since you benched him. So if you wanted to bring Jameis back, wouldn't you be playing him right now? So from a quarterback standpoint, I don't want to see them draft a quarterback in round one. I would love for them to get the first overall pick and trade it. Trade that pick. Say it with me. Trade that pick. Yo, the Jets got spanked today. Is Aaron even trying anymore? Judy. Yeah, that's why I don't really want Rodgers or Cousins. They both have not played well. I know they have great histories, but I think that might be it. History. Next super chat. Jerry Judy, 3rd and 3 completion, and he'll get out of bounds. Clock should keep going. He went out of bounds backwards. If you go out of bounds backwards, the clock keeps running. If you go out of bounds backwards, the clock keeps going.
Well, I'm saying if he tried to make a move, though.
Yeah.
Like if he's actively trying to make a move, I think it's okay. But if he just like falls backwards or like goes backwards,
I don't know. All right, whatever. Jay, I'm done with the Browns this year. Just an entry. Go Lions, I guess. Jay, I'm kind of rooting for you right now in this upcoming race because I love the mentality of like, F it. Give me one duck and we'll see what happens. I'm so done with this team. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Jay. Here we go. Woof, woof. Yep. DTR in 2nd and 2. Throws a nice pass to Judy. He's probably at 100 yards today. AFX, the path to the number 1 pick is clear. Well, you don't really control it. You do need some teams in front of you to lose. The good news for the Browns is, and I'll talk about this in the postgame show, is the 2 teams that are going to be ahead of Cleveland, New England and Tennessee, will be playing teams resting their starters in Week 18. The Browns will be playing the Ravens, who will be playing their starters. So it's possible that those 2 teams win and the Browns scooch up to the number 1 spot. Or if one of them wins, you move up to at least the number 2 pick. Alan Puckett. I was the one who said no touchdown for the Browns. Sadly, they made me right. Well, let's see, Alan, but you're on a good path to be right here. The Browns right now, They're in the red zone. 2nd and 6. They're at the 17-yard line. His pass is incomplete. Looking for Akins. That was my guy. Allen, if they don't get a touchdown, we'll give you 10 entries. You did say it. Ben with a $2 super. Ben has picked an NFC Alliance. Appreciate the super chat, Ben. Go Brownies. 3rd and 6 coming up. You have them all moved over? Love it. Let's show all the names. Last call for entries. 3rd and 6 here for DTR. His pass is incomplete. Through the hands of Michael Woods. Add another one for Jim Miro. How do the Browns let Flacco and Winston walk in consecutive seasons? Are they really confident DTR's 97 yards a game? No, I think the answer is they're not confident in DTR or Winston. If they were confident in Winston, he'd be playing right now. I'm struggling to see the rationale of bringing back Jameis if you didn't even want him to start the last couple of games. I understand wanting to see a little bit of DTR, but I think they bench Jameis. Who benches someone they bring back? 4th and 6. Here's the game. DTR back of the no chance. Allen, you're right. That's the game. The Browns aren't going to score a touchdown. They lose 20-3. Let's do the duck race. So the Dolphins keep their playoff hopes alive. Here's what Miami needs, by the way. They need to win next week, if you're wondering, and they need the Broncos to lose to the Chiefs. If that happens, Miami is in the postseason. I'm ready. This is final, 20-3, by the way. I'm refreshing Tankathon. So these are all the names we have in the raffle for a Jerry Jeudy signed football. Absolute last call right now. Updating Tankathon. Come on. All right. Let's send the duckies. Send them. Ten seconds in. Papa T has a slight lead. Halfway through. Jim Miro losing speed. It's Ghostface right now in the driver's seat. 20 seconds left. Who's it going to be? Look at Lawrence at the bottom. Can Lawrence hold on? Oh, man. Watch Patrick Schuler. Shot out of a cannon. Lawrence also gaining speed but losing it. It could be anyone right now. 3, 2, Armac Dog. Armac Dog. Congratulations. Armac Dog. My email will be at the bottom of the screen in just a moment. Email me your information so I can send you that Jerry Jeudy football. Armac Dog, congrats. Whew. Next up on the show, actually, we'll just end the stream here, Reed. Yeah. We'll do the post-game video just outside the live. We got to kind of hurry a little bit. So that will do it for us on today's watch party. Browns suck, but hey, they currently have the number 3 pick in the draft. It's updated. All right. Go Brownies. I'll talk to you guys later.